So we are just about set to get this double elimination College World Series underway. And boy, it doesn't get any prettier than that. Beautiful blue sky and the wind fairly calm given what it can do here and what it will do in the next couple of days. O'Farrell, the shortstop, ready. And the first pitch from DeCaro underway with this 24 World Series. He swings and fouls it back. Griff O'Farrell, 270 career hits in 3 years, most of any player in program history over a 3-year period. It is 0-2.
That's the key for DeCaro right there. Fastball command for him. Gets established in his fastball early now. It's got a lot of spin to it. He wants to pitch up in the zone with that four-seamer. It's got a little more left to right than it does have carry to it, but he's still going to be up in the zone, especially when he gets ahead.
Hardest guy to strike out in college baseball. Only 23 strikeouts in 277. How's that? In a world in which everybody strikes out, he has struck out 23 times in 277 at bats.
And he knows his role. His role is to get on and put pressure on the defense.
We'll set that defense after the pitch on the 0-2. Went off speed and missed high. Starting at third base, Gavin Gallagher. He had one of those big home runs for them. Colby Wilkerson just is your everyday guy at shortstop. He's outstanding. Alex Medeiros at second. Parks Harbor's at first. Luke Stevenson is the catcher. The 1-2. And he hit him. What a battle there by the leadoff hitter, O'Farrell. Once again, couldn't strike him out, and he is aboard as we get to know these Virginia Cavaliers. 18 NCAA appearances. Brian O'Connor is in his 21st. Yes, 7 and 3rd in their last 4 seasons. They won the whole thing in 2015. They got close in 2014, and they finished the deal a year later. There is Brian O'Connor given an extension on his contract through 2031. Council Bluffs, Iowa native, born here in Omaha. Ethan Anderson next up. And that first pitch is in there. Fastball for strike one.
Now, DeCaro's a big guy, right? 6'5", so he takes a little bit of time to unwind and get that ball to home plate. O'Farrell over at first, 17 stolen bags on the year.
Not going. Here comes the 0-1. He misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. For DeCaro, what are they looking for, Ben, early? Where does he need to locate his pitches?
Well, the fastball command was good to the first batter, O'Farrell, right? But the breaking ball is what we told is the key for him. And he tried to land 2 breaking balls. Neither one of them was close. He ends up hitting O'Farrell. So for him, he's got to establish one of his off-speed pitches, whether it's the changeup, the slider, or the curveball. He's got to do something to keep him off the fastball.
And both changeups so far that he has thrown, and that was the last one, arm side misses.
Same place the breaking balls were, right?
DeCaro was a two-way player in high school, as the coaches like to say. He kind of still thinks he is a two-way player. They like him on the mound. He throws over for the first time.
The first inning always the toughest one for a starter pitch. It always, and this is a true freshman on the mound too, a kid that just turned 18 years old. So a huge moment for him. Can he calm his nerves and find a way? Because what you had in that bullpen doesn't necessarily translate, because you cannot create that adrenaline flow in the bullpen that you get in this game mound.
Honeycutt very shallow in center field. He gets the call on the corner. And Anderson hops up. Didn't think that was a strike, but it's even at 2-2. Anderson has reached base in 33 straight games. Now for DeCaro, we have that put-away pitch. Yes, he does. That is high cheese, and Anderson strikes out.
Well, that's DeCaro at his best right there, and that's what he wants to do when he gets ahead. He's going to take that big arm, that big fastball, and he's going to ride that four-seamer up in the zone. There's a good look at it, kind of a 3-quarter slot, and that's what you're going to see with a high spin rate fastball. You'll see a lot of swings just underneath the baseball that has a lot of carry through the zone.
And that's easy cheese right there, Ben. Top part of the zone, still hasn't been able to establish his breaking pitch, and is still able to blow Anderson away with that heater.
Casey Saki, he is the right fielder. 14 homers on the season. First pitch poured in there for a strike. First inning is critical, Ben. You made the point. And Virginia has outscored their opponents in every inning but the first.
I mean, this Virginia team can flat out hit. There is no weaknesses top to bottom. You look down the bottom, Bobby Whalen's hitting 370 out of the 9 hole for Virginia.
A little high to Soki. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. He comes in with a 343 average. And these teams really do mirror each other a lot. We talk a lot about the Virginia offense. Their batting average not far apart. Runs per game within a run. Homers within 3. I figured the numbers are going to be really impressive for teams to get here.
Outfield playing straight up. Hits mostly everything in the air to right field. Over 53% of the balls hit opposite field.
O'Farrell's still there at first after getting hit by a pitch. Oh! Just misses away. 2 balls and a strike. .737 hits, most in the country. Second year in a row that Brian O'Connor and his offense have had 700+ hits. The 2-1. 3 balls and a strike, and another off speed. Can't land. Henry Ford, power hitting first baseman, is on deck.
Saki, right now you have to be thinking the number 1, catch it out front and look up in the zone. That's where he's been hitting his spots. Beat him to the punch.
I think, yeah, I mean, you got to sit on heater here, right?
100% up.
3-1. Ball 4. That is just off, and it is ball 4. And Virginia now doing what Virginia's done: get guys on and leave it up to these big bats. 64 RBIs now at first. 68 RBI coming to the plate. So a walk and a hit batter here in the first. Sandwiched between was a strikeout. Now Ford is a guy that O'Connor has known literally forever, since he was 9 years old. As he told us earlier today, this was a Little League legend in that Charlottesville area. What a chance here in the first with 2 on. He swings and drives this one to right field. Going back, D'Onofrio right at the track. He's there to make the play. Tagging O'Farrell. It'll be first and third, and Ford did not miss that by much.
But not, and welcome to Omaha. That's what happens here. Any ball hit into the warning track, usually in parts in the ACC, it could have been a 3-0 game. Instead hits it well, wind blowing slightly in left to right. First pitch he sees, true freshman against true freshman. See a lot of those battles in the ACC.
Yes.
Virginia builds from within. They don't hit the transfer portal like most schools, although they do have 2 guys that have made a big difference this year, and this is one of them, Jacob Ferentz, the senior. He swings at the first one and sends it right back. Out of Salisbury University, he set a school record there with 14 homers in 23. They won the Division III National Championship. They were runners-up in 2022. And when they recruited him, every answer he gave fit with the Virginia program. Right at the letters, and now ahead 0-2 and trying to strand 2 here in the top of the first.
North Carolina going with a full shift. And you look at the percentage of ground balls that he has hit on the ground this year. You're looking at over 80% of the balls hit on the ground.
Harrow trying to work through it. Runner goes. He fouls that off from first. On the move was Sauki, and he'll come back. And as a former pitcher at the biggest stage, you know how critical this first inning is to throw a 0 up there.
No doubt. And no matter how many pitches it takes you to do it, you throw a 0 up, you can get rolling from there. Clearly the breaking ball to changeup hadn't been there yet for DeCaro. He is just 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
And Ferentz deliver. 0-2 again. That's high. They will not throw down. And now 2 are in scoring position as Sauki picks up his 9th stolen base of the year.
Decision early on in this game to not allow Virginia to try to steal a run by throwing through. This is trusting DeCaro on the mound as well.
Ferentz has hit .354 this year. He's got 13 doubles. He does have the ability to put it over the wall. 17 home runs. Caro's 1-2, way outside. All right, what's it like, man, for a pitcher not to have feel for those two pitches?
You hope you get yourself in some situations where you can work on it from time to time and get a feel for it. These are not one of those situations. It's been heavy on the fastball. I still like fastball up. If he can get that fastball just about belt high over the center part of the plate, I think he's going to have some success.
Here it comes. Did he check? Yes, he did, and we are full. Virginia has made a living in delivering clutch 2-out hits. Their last 15 runs in the tournament have come with 2 outs.
Ball 4.
Bases are loaded. Second walk of the inning.
I'm baffled here, Ben. Pitch selection, the last 3 pitches were breaking pitches. He hasn't been able to land one at all. I liked your choice with going with the fastball up, especially against Jacob who's now on first base. He was only hitting .218 with runners in scoring position this year. Instead, now you got a lefty to face.
And the improving hitter is at the plate, Harrison Didewick. 23 home runs this season. Loaded in the top of the first pitch, another breaking pitch that misses.
Another off-speed pitch and a good take by Virginia right there. And if you're Virginia right now, you're just sitting on fastball because he's not showed you he can land anything off-speed yet. So why would you think about anything off-speed? Get your foot down and go get the fastball.
Ball's out.
He won't throw it, though. They're not calling.
I don't understand that. But that was a much better pitch. That ball could have been called a strike. Change up just off the outside edge. So he's trying to establish one of the 2 off-speed pitches, but he's got himself in a hole here.
With O'Farrell at third, Sauke is at second, Ferentz at first. A big 2-0 pitch in the top of the first. Swing and a miss.
That's how you know you got a good fastball, right? Everybody in the ballpark knows fastball's coming, and yet the hitter can't catch up to it. And I'm with you on the pitch selection. I thought he should have leaned more heavily on the fastball a couple of batters ago.
Plenty of room in that right center field gap for Didewick with him loaded on a 2-1. 3 balls and a strike.
Didewick this year, 444 when it comes down to runners juiced, bases loaded, hitting 444.
What an opportunity for Didewick in Virginia on a 3-1 fastball count with him loaded. He delivered the fastball, and Didewick, for the second time in this plate appearance, swings and misses at the fastball.
Ben, that's impressive right there. 3-1 fastball, you know it's coming again.
I mean, it's a point in time in the game where it's my best against yours here. And his best has clearly been the fastball. And it's been the best all year long for him. That's he's been his bread and butter, that fastball.
Payoff pitch. Everybody moving, 2 down. Fouled it off. And this is going to be the 30th pitch of the first inning.
Not what DeCaro wanted. But if he can stack a 0 here, you'll take it.
Harrison Didewick, 1 more homer, sets the single season record. He struck him out. All that work, 30 pitches to get through the first.
Boy, do it, freshman. All 6'5", 225 pounds. I mean, Brare's back and says, you know what? My best against yours in this situation. And DeCaro comes out with that big 4-seam fastball. North Carolina puts up a 0 in the top of the first.
ACC legend, the walk it off.
Fairly incredible super regional for the Tar Heels, and the head coach described it as a scene he'd never seen before, and he'd been at Carolina for a long time. Of course, underneath Mike Fox there, said the building was absolutely buzzing, and that guy Vance Honeycutt delivered time and time again. As we take a look At our batting order, it's brought to you again by Capital One. Honeycutt followed by Cook and Parks Harbor, who's been terrific. D'Onofrio, Gallagher had a huge homer. Stevenson, Osunis, a home run hitter who's been down a little bit this year. Madeira, and then Colby Wilkerson. Evan Blanco would probably like to be a little more efficient than DeCaro, but if you look up, Ben, like you said, you got a 0 up there. That's the end game out of Woburn, Massachusetts.
Yeah, see the numbers on the year. 8-3 with a 369 ERA. Heavy on the fastball. He'll use it about 60% of the time. Then the changeup, slider, and curveball. Probably his changeup his best pitch. It has a 45% swing and miss. D1 average about 33% on that changeup.
Misses there. It is 1-0. Blanco 6 feet 205. He's a sophomore, third team All ACC, weekend starter all year. And the most dangerous hitter leads things off in Honeycutt. Gets the call in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. He checks with the home plate umpire, Scott Klein. Is that as far as we're going to go? We're going to go a little further. The numbers just jump off the screen. A ground ball. Shortstop will field it. Honeycutt can fly, but a nice play by Griff O'Farrell out there, as reliable as there is. There's one down. He got in on him.
And he showed his hands right there. O'Farrell short. Came in strong and then had to put on the brakes with his feet. Was able to reset them. Still get a strong throw over to first base.
So a huge out for Virginia as Honeycutt goes back to the bench. And that'll bring up Casey Cook. 339 hitter on the season. 18 homers, 7 stolen bases. 3 on the right side of the infield for Virginia. Blanco's first pitch is in there for a strike.
That's where you're going to see the fastball. 88-92, and he will use the inside part of the plate. When he's on his game, he's going to pitch inside to the right-handers to speed those bats up, and he'll get to that really good changeup once he speeds the bats up. Blanco last year was just a reliever. 824 appearances, all out of the bullpen for Virginia this year into the weekend rotation.
And this ball is to center. Hanging up there, but it's going to get down in front of Bobby Whalen. And there's our first hit of the game off the bat of Casey Cook. Shows how huge that outfield is, especially in center.
And that's one of the Virginia's strategies defensively. Whalen playing deep again, just as they did as a team last year. You see a lot of teams come in because this is such a big ballpark, but again, Brian O'Connor does not want to be beat with any ball hit over their head because it'll turn into a triple with the speed of North Carolina.
Yeah, Cook has 7 stolen bases. They get all sorts of cues from the pitcher Blanco on whether they're willing to run. That first pitch is a little high to Parks Harbor.
North Carolina, 83 stolen bases on the year, so not a huge number, but they will run. .341 with 20 bombs for Harbor in the 3 spot. Blanco will throw over to first. Lob it over there. They've had 8 quality starts, says Virginia, and 5 of them have been with Blanco on the bump. O'Farrell 4th in the country at shortstop in defensive runs saved. Now Blanco's last time out against Kansas State in that Super Regional. He worked 7 innings. 5 hits, gave up 4 earned runs, only walked 1, and he is a strike thrower. Struck out 9. 25 walks is all he's got, 92 2/3 coming in.
And this one is down the line. That's a fair ball into left field, and it is rattled around in the corner. And that is a double for Parks Harbor. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out for Carolina.
Parks Harbor starting that party early with his first extra base hit, and this is a changeup that just stays up and down the middle of the zone. Bad head stays through. There's an advantage that North Carolina has because they faced him early in March. And you know what that changeup looks like. And the game plan is make sure he brings it up, look up in the zone. That one just stayed straight and in it.
Love how Harbor stayed on that ball, right? I mean, he stayed through that changeup.
Anthony D'Onofrio next up. First pitch, that's in there for a strike.
When you hit 600 this year against the changeup, something you're doing right. Staying with it, you have the great approach, and they fed right into his power.
Yeah, the approach is to the backside with the fastball and having some bat left, right, to attack anything off speed.
The 0-1. And slow roll to second. Run's going to score. And Godbout throws him out. D'Onofrio brings in the first run of the game. The Heels are on the board and get the first run of this 24 World Series.
Well, nice job by D'Onofrio there, right? Recognize the middle infield's back. You got a runner at third, less than 2 outs. You'd love to get a base hit and drive in too, but you know what? You say, okay, if I get a ground ball the middle part of the field, that will plate the first run of the game. Well done.
Just an amazing tale of the top and bottom half. Bases loaded, 30 pitches. Virginia can't score. And in only 10 pitches thrown by Blanco, Carolina has scratched a run across. Felt like they would be down 2, 3, 4 nothing. They're up 1-0.
Ball.
And an off-speed pitch misses to Gavin Gallagher. Harbor is at third base, one of the freshmen that has helped this team with 8 homers, a .337 average. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Somewhere around the outside corner. But I need to know that as a pitcher, right? Where can I go to consistently get strikes? If I can get some strikes by not throwing it over the white part of the plate, why would you do anything else? I was going to stay right out there.
See, but this is the thing now. You know that the man on the mound, Evan Blanco, has the ability now to come in and freeze you. So if you start looking out there, you leave wide open the inside part of the plate.
1-2.
There it was.
In this inning alone, while Honeycutt made it out, Cook extended his on-base streak to 17 games. Harbor extended his to 15 games. Walk-off grand slam for Gavin Gallagher. And this one is put up in the air to center field. Whalen is there, and there is the out. But Carolina strikes first, thanks to the work of Casey Cook and Anthony D'Onofrio. It's a Carolina party to start it on the inside, and everybody's having fun on the outside.
Ryan O'Connor in his 21st year as head coach at Virginia.
See what the bottom 3 for Virginia can do as we start the second. And DeCaro, you wonder if they just sort of said, you know, that fastball that you had in the first, it really worked well. Maybe stick with that.
Let's lean on that a little bit more. It's a good feeling, though. I mean, that's when your confidence grows, especially as a young pitcher in the biggest stage, right? When you get out of a big jam, your team goes out and puts a run on the scoreboard, just kind of relaxes you a little bit more. Let's see if he starts to incorporate some of those off-speed pitches, trying to get one of them going.
The 0-2 to Godbout, and he fouled that one off. Got a scouting report, at least according to Carolina, about Virginia. Hey, you got to make pitches. They don't strike out a ton. That they have a real good approach-oriented offense. They'll sit on certain pitches, and you got to score to beat them, and they got a 1-0 lead.
The way to keep them from sitting on certain pitches is get ahead, right? Throw strike one and take the predictable counts out.
0-2. Oh, he did chase, and that was an off-speed pitch way out of the zone.
Was a strike, but it started as a strike, and that's where all pitchers want to get, right? In two strike counts, something that begins in the strike zone and works its way, and that's more of a sweeping type slider there. It starts in the zone and works it right off the outside edge. Well done by DeCaro.
Yeah, and Danny, this is what we talked about. Get through the first, don't give up a run. All of a sudden, you can start to glide a little bit.
Yeah, he's been really special for this team all season long. Vance Honeycutt told me so. But I think what is really crazy, guys, is that right now he's pitching against Virginia. And during his recruiting process in Atlanta, Bryant Gaines, the pitching coach here for Carolina, told us that he and Drew Dickinson, the pitching coach for Virginia, went to see DeCaro. Both looked at each other after he was done pitching and said, may the best man win. Obviously, the Tar Heels got him, guys.
Yeah, and they were the only two there watching. And he was lighting up the radar gun, and he was awfully impressive. The day before, his uniform was all dirty. He was out there, DeCaro, at third base. But he comes to Carolina, and now ahead 0-2. We've seen a changeup. The breaking pitch looks a lot better here in the second.
Yeah, it's amazing. Getting out of a jam and then getting one run on the scoreboard behind you makes a difference. And look, I love how North Carolina brought him along during the season. Start him in the midweek, little lower leverage type situations with the intent of, hey, this is a real dude. He's going to be in our weekend rotation at some point.
Well, you can feel the energy and confidence from DeCaro building and building after that first inning.
It's unbelievable how that chase, that 0-2 chase right there for the strikeout to get the first out, all of a sudden he has confidence in that changeup that he was able to throw the next pitch over for a strike, the breaking pitch right there. That's so mental with this game.
It's no secrets to pitching, right? You put the hitter on the defense right away. You throw strike one, you get a hit.
Oh.
This is the 9-hole hitter, Bobby Whalen. I think Ben already mentioned it. A 9-hole hitter with a .370 batting average. And now behind 2-0. The only team in Division I with a better batting average than Virginia, Austin Peay. They were at .359. Nobody was really close to them. But they're top 10 in just about everything. Runs, on base, slugging, doubles.
OPS, they're there on everything. Nearly 9.5 runs per game. That's almost unheard of.
Roller to Wilkerson at short. Stays down on it, and what a different inning. About 11 pitches versus 30 in the first. It's 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. So you play during the morning, during the day, you roll over here for some big-time College World Series action with Eduardo Perez. And of course, Big Ben McDonald. Got a little Ferris wheel out there in center field adding to it. Danny Wexelman down on the field as we start the bottom of the second, and Blanco fires away. High chopper, it's vacated with the shift, and that is a leadoff single for Luke Stevenson. Crowd move. I don't know, man. Eduardo, you just wonder, you're going to go back to the way the first inning played out, how DeCaro got out of it. And that was all he needed to do. And somehow this game ends with Carolina winning.
Got a little confidence. Got a run on the scoreboard. Relaxed him a little bit. And boy, it all came together in the second inning. 11 pitches, 2 strikeouts.
Alberto Osuna next up. Swing and a miss on a good off-speed pitch from Evan Blanco.
Ball. Earlier this year, Ozuna faced Blanco, went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against him. Used the changeup a lot. 2-strike situations.
45 career home runs for Osuna. Fouled that one straight back.
Yeah, now Blanco for me is going to have to use his fastball to these right-handers on the inside. I don't care if he throws the first strike, even if you get it in off the plate just a little bit, make him think you want to work the inside part, because he wants to get you out with a changeup.
One and 2 to Osuna. There it is on the inside corner, and that is his feast pitch.
Man,
worst feeling there is, Big Ben.
If he can do that, it is a game changer. Because hitters, when they get 2 strikes, right, you think about, I don't want to strike out. I got to protect against the off-speed pitches. It makes you vulnerable to the ball on the inside part of the plate. And this is just a perfect pitch right there. See the catcher right there, French just kind of rocks the inside, says, lefty, give it to me right here on the inside part. And you can't throw one any better than that.
That brings up Alex Madera, just over 300. The 4-year Arcadia University outstanding star there. He missed the season opener. He was banged up. He has started every game at second base since. Ump cam to get us going here. He went for it. We'll throw down to first. That is a strike.
Eddie, what's it do for that North Carolina to know that he will finish on the inside part of the plate with 2 strikes? If you're sitting there, I mean, there's talk in the dugout, hey, he will finish in.
You can't be afraid to get jammed. That's the bottom line. You can look away but you better have in the back of your mind, anything in, be ready and don't be afraid to get jammed at all. Once you start, if you look for the changeup, you're done.
Yeah, because he's got enough on the fastball. You start looking off speed, he can zip it by you, because even though it's 88 to 92, he hides it a little bit. It's deceptive a little bit. It gets on the hitters a little bit as well.
And not only do you have to look away, you have to look up in the zone to be able to make an adjustment.
Doesn't get the call there. The UmCam, by the way, if you're into the UmCam, a lot of people are. UmCams can be seen on ESPN Plus. That's exclusive coverage using our UmCam. You get some UmCam, and a little bit later on, we're going to hopefully be able to show you some ESPN Body Cam. It's provided by Mindfly Technology on the umpire up the middle. Oh, that one misses high and away. There is the look through the body cam. It has the ability, does that ESPN body cam, to really show us plays within the bases. And here's a chance for a double play. They go to first, and no, safe with the good hustle down the line. So an excellent effort by O'Farrell and Godbout.
Yeah, great turn, great opportunity there. Just Madera just too fast down the line. Tough play. They were up the middle. You see him cram, ready for double play position. Quick release, great feed. And the runner's that quick, no chance. I don't mind Stevenson getting down right there.
He almost made it to the bag. Another 15 feet.
Here comes Colby Wilkerson. Both 8 and 9 guys. If you're going to play back, they'll lay a bunt down. Doesn't matter, 2 outs, you get back to the top of the order. And Honeycutt, any chance you can get him to the plate, you'll try to take it. And playing deep at third base is Eric Becker.
Blanco's thrown over already 3 times today, all really good reads. Another easy read. Already done a step off move as well. Pitches off the third base side of the rubber. Excuse me, first base side of the rubber.
Popped up, shallow right field. Sauke is under it. Will come back. Scott Forbes, the head man at North Carolina. First trip here as the head coach. We will talk with him. We're through 2. It's 1-0 Heels.
Hey, Carl, thank you so much. I am with Scott Forbes, right now head coach of North Carolina. And listen, Jason DeCaro settles in. What'd you see difference from first inning to second?
Yeah, maybe he settled in because the first inning, typical us, right? Like bases loaded, 3-1 count, guy with, what, 25 plus jacks, and found a way to get out of it. And it's only fitting, kind of how it's been lately. How important is that for game 1? Oh, I mean, obviously Ford hit that ball really hard and stayed in the park. Jason reached back and he threw some good fastballs right there. And that's a credit to Jason DeCaro to be able to throw that ball by Didowick right there. That's big.
Hey, how fun is it to bring this team to Omaha?
I mean, it's awesome. I'm so happy for our players. They deserve it. They've worked all the way back in August. This is what they want to do, and they put the work in, and they're reaping that reward.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Carl.
All right, Denny, it starts with the summer school program. Ideally, they're here, and some of the other kids that aren't yet part of the team begin this summer program to get them involved and into Carolina baseball. DeCaro fires. You know, we talk a lot in baseball about facing an order the 3rd time through the order. In DeCaro's case, the 2nd time through the order, the numbers do go up for the offense. See if that happens. This one is sky high, plenty of foul territory over there. Going over is Harbor. Oh man, he ran out of it. And if he had just been a few feet back, he probably would have been able to avoid the railing and make the play.
Never took a peek down. And when you don't, right there, he hits the end of the railing, goes around it, that's an out.
Yeah.
Look, never takes a peek to see where he's at. And
new ballpark, different ballpark, not quite sure.
A lot more foul ball.
A lot of foul ground here. Typically a good pitcher's ballpark. Obviously, it's one of the biggest ballparks that any of these kids play in all year long. and a lot of foul ground.
Ball, that's out.
Outside to Griff.
Carl, getting back to what you were saying about the second time around, I think this is why it's important that DeCaro finds out now if he has that breaking pitch now that he can throw over, that changeup that he can throw effectively to the left-handed hitters. It's going to play big this inning.
2-1 this one. Right field coming in. D'Onofrio, he's there. And O'Farrell, after getting hit by the pitch his first time up, flies out to right. Back we go to Ethan Anderson. It's a big family affair. His coaching staffs at Carolina know each other really well. Of course, there is the legendary coach Mike Fox. He took a Carolina team here 7 times, same amount of times that Brian O'Connor has taken Virginia here.
Ball.
I believe we saw Dustin Ackley, who is arguably the greatest college World Series. That's him right there with a beard rubbing his eye. You couldn't get him out when he was here with Carolina. And years later, he's got a little boy in his lap watching.
It's just tough to win the College World Series. We talked about it in the open. I mean, this 8-team field, and Kentucky's here for the very first time in program history. Yet these 8 teams have been here 77 times with only 2 titles between the 8.
One ball, 2 strikes. DeCaro to Ethan Anderson. He went off speed and he tried to land it, but it's a little outside.
It's coming. It's getting a lot closer.
Now, do you feel that on the mound? You know it?
Oh, yeah. You're starting to get a feel, because you remember the first couple of breaking balls, they were nowhere close. Right now, the misses are really, really small, which tells me he's starting to get some confidence, starting to get it dialed in.
Ball.
And the changeup's been good. Like, he's getting it over the white part of the plate. It's just been a little bit low, but I credit Virginia, too. They're laying off a lot of balls that out of the hand are a strike, and then they just fade to the bottom, just to the bottom of the zone. They're being able to lay off of it so far.
Full count. 1 down. And this one is up the middle. That's going to get through. No chance for Madera. First hit of the game, Ethan Anderson for the Cavaliers.
One thing that Ethan Anderson has been able to do all season long is hit that fastball. Came in hitting .333 against it. Velocity over 92 miles per hour.
Well, he just
stays through it, man.
He just went out and hooked that one, didn't he? That ball's off the outside edge, and yet enough of that to go out and hook it and pull it for a base hit.
I'm telling you, that's why it's so important for Carl to be able to find that breaking pitch.
He hit behind Jake Geloff last year to Anderson. Here's Sauke with all sorts of power in his bat for his pitch. High chopper off the glove of Gallagher. Heading to third base. Anderson will get there. Digging into second. And really good hustle and a good read by Sauke. Virginia in business, second and third.
We see this a lot in Omaha as well. Right in the front of the plate. Game start, 1 o'clock. They try to keep it as wet as possible. But this one takes a high bounce right in front of the plate. Goes right over Anderson. Gets to right from it. Now you have runners in scoring position. He got up there.
Just off the tip of the glove, too. See how North Carolina wants to play this with 1 out, second and third. Looks like the middle infielders are going to push back. They'll concede the run.
18th double of the year for Sauke. Here's Henry Ford, the first baseman. 17 homers on the season. Set up on the outside corner. Didn't get it there, and a little blooper into right. It's going to get down. RBI for Ford. We are tied 1-1 as he scores. Anderson.
Rightfully so, right? You get freshman against freshman, the first at-bat. DeCaro wins this at-bat. Different story. Ford wins. Jam shot, first pitch again. Base hit, driving one in, still runner in scoring position at third.
Yeah, DeCaro trying to go down and away. That ball up and in. Ford just strong enough, and he is a strong guy. 17 homers, true freshman, just kind of shoves it out to right field for an RBI single.
Mike Gaines will come on out and talk to DeCaro. Go back to Ford there at first base. He's a local kid. He committed in 8th grade. And as O'Connor told us, I started watching him when he was 9 years old. He played against my son. My son came home and said, Dad, I'm going to pitch today, Little League. I'm going to pitch. What should I do? Because I'm also going to be facing Henry Ford. And at that point, even at 9, everyone knew who Henry Ford was. And what was Brian O'Connor's advice to his son?
He said, just hit him.
I'd hit him.
Just drill him. Just put him on. And I said, well, did he really hit him? He goes, no, he didn't hit him.
He didn't hit him. But he had 2 homers in the game. Then they flipped him around for it. He hit from the left side. He went deep from the left side.
That's
not fair at 9. Move him up.
Well, they've been aggressive. 3 straight hits, 3 straight pitches. Now Jacob Ferentz with man on the corners. That's Salke at third, Ford at first. And a new 1-1 ball game.
Ball, it's out.
Boy, that didn't miss by much, but it's 1-0. Madera has moved to the shortstop side, so they got 3 on the left side.
Yeah, going to be tough to turn a double play with that defensive setup right there. That's the only thing I don't like about the shift. If you get a routine ground ball to the shortstop, it's going to be a tough turn.
Ball.
Not only that, you don't have a lot of speed at the plate, so you don't have to rush it to turn 2. Ferentz struggled this year against the number 1, 92 miles per hour or above, so you have to go challenge him right here.
Ferentz had a huge fall, hit more home runs than anybody on the team. He's got a good 2-0 count. Took a big rip at that and fouled it off. 2 balls and a strike. And there go the reinforcements out to the bullpen as DeCaro's pitch count heads towards 60 here in the 3rd.
Not only do they go out there, but it also gives DeCaro a little break as well.
But honestly, as a starting pitcher, that's the last thing I want to see when I'm on the bump, right?
I'm sure.
I'd rather those guys be down there and they're warming up and I don't know about it. When I see a whole army come out of the dugout, and it puts that thought in my mind.
2-1 Ferentz. Wanted to hold up, couldn't, and it's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Staying loose.
Virginia has 1 here in the 3rd, looking for more. 2-2 to Jacob Ferentz, and he's late on that one. He strikes out. 5th strikeout of the game for Jason DeCaro.
DeCaro's been able to pick up some big strikeouts when he's needed it, and he's leaned on that fastball to do it. Watch this, just a perfectly 4-seamer. Starts it just on the outside edge. That ball's got a little bit of left to right as it starts to come back. Big time pitch and a big time moment for the freshman.
And here is Harrison Didowick. He struck out his first time up. He put on about 20 pounds after being injured during last summer. Off speed, sends this one to left. It is playable, and the range from Casey Cook reels it in. DeCaro in trouble, worked out of it. He gave up 1, but he strands 2. Big time crowds expected for the next week and a half here in Omaha, Nebraska. The 2024 College World Series featuring teams from the SEC and the ACC. Kentucky, we'll see. Big Blue Nation travels everywhere, especially for basketball and more for their football. Will they show up here in Omaha for their baseball team? As Nick Mingione's got it rolling, and they are here for the first time. Take on Elliott Avent's NC State Wolfpack tomorrow. Early game, A&M in Florida. The late game. Florida, the only national seed, non-national seed that made this field. It is littered with baseball tradition.
Don't sleep on NC State. I'm going to tell you, don't pay attention to the numbers they've been putting up for the year, because they are a really good team. 20-9 in their last 29 games is NC State.
Here is Honeycutt, described by his own coach as the next level player. We don't have many of them. And this one is to center. That's a graveyard out there. It got in on him a little bit. Vance Honeycutt retired for the 2nd time. He hasn't seen many pitches either.
Well, Blanco typically a strike thrower, and I think that's North Carolina's approach is go get the fastball, sit on the fastball, go get it early because he's not going to walk many guys. We mentioned it earlier. Only 25 walks, a little over 90 innings of work this year.
Uses a lot of soft contact with his changeup as well.
1-1, bottom 3, first game of this World Series, and the first pitch way inside to Cook. This is the part of the order that got to Blanco in the first. A single from Cook, a double from Harbor into left field, and then D'Onofrio bottom in. Carolina went 37-3.
Wow.
They won 37 of their 40 games at Chapel Hill this season. On the road, kind of 10 and 11 neutral site games. But they ended up winning the ACC Coastal 22-8. 4 games ahead of Virginia. Doesn't paint, that's outside. There is a huge value in winning the first game. That ball's pulled down the line, and that one is in the corner, and it bounces over the wall. Ground rule double as Casey Cook about faces one. He's 2 for 2 today.
I'd say Casey Cook having a pretty good day now. Eddie, you talk about get those hands in tight to the body and get to an inside heater. Watch this move right here. Trying to go away, but this ball stays on the inner third of the plate, but no problem at all. Pulls those hands in tight, just gets the barrel to it, and then rocket down the right field line for a double.
We talked about DeCaro, second time through the order for Blanco, 80 points higher on the batting average, and then even more so on the slugging. Harbor doubled his first time up. First pitch is high.
I've seen more comfortable at-bats so far from the left-handed hitters of North Carolina than the right-handed hitters from North Carolina.
Yeah, Blanco the second time through. Batters are hitting 80 points higher the second time through than versus the first time through the lineup.
Slugging 150 points higher as Blanco delivers off the outside edge. 2 balls, no strikes.
Got a decision to make right here. Does he go with the changeup 2-0, or does he challenge him 2-0 with the fastball?
Whatever you think your best pitch is in this situation, right? Where can you make a quality, not a strike, but where can you throw a quality strike? Tries the changeup and misses.
Parks Harbor and this team has put up a lot of runs via the home run recently. Harbor has 19 homers in his last 41 games. A 3-0 count. 3-1.
Cambio again. 3-0.
It has been an explosion of home runs. 32 teams this year in college baseball have 100 or more home runs. NC State's sitting at 99.
Yeah. Both these teams over 100.
I don't throw the changeup again. Good chase.
So yeah, winning the first game in this double elimination format is big. Winning the first 2 is way more important because you can go 1-1. It still becomes a little more difficult. Last year, LSU lost in the second game, but only 4 teams the last 42 World Series lost game 1 and came back to win. And there's the bigger one. 27 of the last 33 have started 2-0. LSU was 1-1 in 2023. You talk to the coaches about experience, about the importance of game 1, and it's almost as if they have the rehearsed speech. It was Brian O'Connor who said, well, you know, experience, maybe it matters, but ask Gary Gilmore and his Coastal Carolina team. Like, they didn't have any, and they went and won the whole thing, you know?
It can happen.
It can happen.
But to his point, I think it is, the more you're here, the more your program. Skip Burton used to say, hey, you got to get here a few times before you really believe that you can win and you're supposed to win. Like your program is supposed to win. And it took a while for Skip. I mean, he came here 3 times before he finally won it. But then when the program started winning, they came in a bunches. So I think it is something said for the comfort factor of being here a few times. If you got some older guys that have been here at Omaha and they've experienced it before, I think you just find a way to relax a little bit more because you kind of know what the drill is. You know what it's all about. You know about the ballpark and the fan bases and all that kind of stuff.
Well, a lot of traffic early in this game. Both teams, Cook and Harbor, have both been on base in their 2 plate appearances, and now D'Onofrio grounded out for an RBI on a fielder's choice. He's up and behind 0-1. Lefties have had great success against Blanco on the season, hitting about 50 points higher.
Yes, yes, yes.
And one of the big reasons is because of the changeup. It eliminates it. He's mostly a fastball slider pitcher against the lefties, and the slider is not at the level of the change.
Well, he's got him set up for fastball after 2 breaking balls on the outside part.
0-2, end of the bat, and this is a pop-up on the infield for O'Farrell. They do call the infield fly rule. And he's out. For more information on the 2024 NCAA College World Series, we invite you to go to ncaa.com. That's your home for all 90 NCAA championships. At a Ben's point, too, you think about guys we'll see in this tournament. We're seeing Honeycutt today. Jack Caglione, 73 homers, the active player career home run list. Tommy White, 75. Cag, 73. Honeycutt, 63. Of course, Georgia just lost to the Super. Nick Charlie Condon ended up with 63. Nick Kurtz, 61.
Ball.
Yeah, Charlie Condon ended up with 37 on the year, which of course is a BB Corbett record. 37. Of course, Cags has gone over 30 in back-to-back years.
It's a big man there. Size 19 shoe.
I mean, you talk about fill up a batter's box, huh?
1-0. I thought you were saying like fill up a boat. I mean, those we could ride in those things. I could.
By the way, Big Ben, you know what size shoe Carl is?
I'm guessing.
Take a guess.
8.
Thank you, but no.
Not that high, huh?
Don't reach the 8s.
7.
Yeah, right in between her.
With toilet paper in the toes, a 7.
Couple cotton balls in there. Let's go.
You know what they say about small feet, Ben?
Yes, I do.
Small shoes. Gavin Gallagher with 2 aboard, 2 down in a 1-1 game, looking for a clutch hit. And this may be it. Left center. And now 2 converge on it. Hung up there for a while. Gallagher retired. Ryan O'Connor. He have a new extension to stay through 31. Leading the Who's. We're through 3. We'll join them next.
Back in the Men's College World Series for the 7th time in 16 years, Virginia has become a June Omaha mainstay. Head coach Brian O'Connor is here year-round because a local artist put the face of this Council Bluffs native and Creighton baseball folk hero on the statue out front.
I am joined by Brian O'Connor, head coach of Virginia. Tie ball game so far. Evan Blanco, what's he shown you?
He's done a nice job, certainly. You know, the wind's blowing in a little bit. You can be a little bit more aggressive on the mound, but I thought he's really done a nice job of managing innings and not giving in, and that's what he's done all year for us.
Your freshman, Henry Ford, ties this ball game up. How do you describe your offense this year?
Well, you know, it's been very aggressive, and we need to do a little bit better job of that. We've been taking too many fastballs in these first 3 innings, but Henry Ford stepped up. He drove that ball to right field, was close to being out, and then he stepped up there and got a big RBI hit.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Carl.
Hi, Danny. Thank you very much. As for the 2nd time today, Godbot will lead off an inning. He did so in the 2nd, and that was DeCaro's best inning. He got him 1, 2, 3.
Ball.
He misses there. How about what Brian O'Connor has established in Charlottesville? You know, he points to the success of the kids in the major leagues being the huge piece for them, and you can see how that translates in every other sport, whether it's football or basketball.
Ball, it's out.
It's in a lot of ways about the guys you send to the pros. He loves to point out, you come to our program, the goal is we got to get better. Like, we're going to make you better.
And we're going to make you better, not only at this level, but also for the next level, and it's the reality. It's the reality of what's going on right now when kids are getting ready to get to their dream. And this is just a step forward of getting to the major leagues, and they've had so many major leaguers.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
And that matters.
Little.
When you're choosing a school, you want guys that's played you want to go to a place that's got guys that's played in the big leagues, right? And here's what I love about Brian O'Connor too. Not only does he make them better on the field, but he grows them as young men too. And as a parent who sent their kid off to college, one thing you got to trust is, yes, I want you to make my kid better on the field, but I want you to make him a young man. When he leaves your program, I want him to be a young man, and that's what I can say for Brian O'Connor. He does that with his guys.
And he does the best to at least have them healthy and take care of themselves. And a great example was Blanco in his last start. 102 pitches in 7 innings. Look, he's not only taking care of the game, but he's also taking care of his arm to make sure that he's okay for the next start.
3-2 line shot. That's going to get down, and Henry Godbout will lead off with a single. So the 7-hole hitter delivers.
And it's not only, again, just to finish off on that one, you see the snapshot on the left side, but it's also to be able to take care of his future. I think that's really important when you know that you're in good hands.
You know, and you talk about health. So the guy up here, Eric Becker, Godbout got hit by a pitch. He missed 2 to 3 weeks. It turned out to be the silver lining, and it was Becker got a chance to play every day, and all of a sudden his bat took off. He swings at the first one and fouls that straight back. Becker ended up, after platooning at third base with Hansen, he moved over to second base. He played regularly, got regular at bats. Godbout comes back healthy, and then they go back into the platoon situation at third. But every time Becker started since then, he has been terrific. Good pitch inside corner.
Yeah, sometimes injuries are a blessing in some ways, right? Because you get to develop guys, and guys get reps that maybe you weren't counting on getting some reps early in the year. And that's a good thing about, you know, if there is a silver lining to injuries, is you get some experience from some guys that maybe you can count on later in the season.
Eric Becker caught looking his first time up, and the 0-2 on the way from DeCaro. And this one on the ground to second. Could be 2. Wilkerson's throw not in time. A little slow on the couple of hops. Talk about the grass here on the infield, and it tends to eat balls up. That one didn't get to Madera very quickly, and Wilkerson didn't have a chance to get Becker.
Yeah, as soon as you come, watch Madera right here. He waits for that ball to come in. And for that double play, if you know the runner, the batter hitter, you want to attack just a little bit more.
Yeah, this is a strange field. You know, the grass is a little bit higher than most fields, although it looked like it was mowed this morning. But it does grab the ball. Now, when it gets to the dirt, it appears to speed up from time to time, because, Eddie, you mentioned this. I mean, this field will dry out during the day, and it gets a little bit faster on the dirt.
9-hole hitter, Whalen.
Guys, I wanted to tell you this morning when I got to the field, asked about the grass, because I knew you would be wondering about it. And I talked to Eric Williams. He's the assistant groundskeeper. The infield was mowed this morning, the outfield last night after practices. So there you go.
Are we that predictable?
Yeah, I mean, you know, some of us are obsessed with lawns. Some of us. Yeah. And Ben, just look from high home here. Look at the lines that they've cut into the outfield.
Yeah, it's almost like they cut a circle out for the center fielder. Like, this is where you're going to stand, right here in the circle.
Trophy.
This is where you need to be.
It's beautiful. It's a work of art. The idea is you hold on to the trophy. That is the trophy. It's a symbol of the World Series trophy.
Okay.
See it?
I see it now.
Now you do.
Now that you mentioned it, I see it now from way up here.
I will say this, though. Teams had 50 minutes yesterday each to be able to practice on the field. And the conditions that they practice in, this practice started at 9 o'clock and it went all the way to 3 o'clock. And it's just really interesting that you mow the grass after they practice. So this is pretty much a new environment for them today. Got to learn as you go, especially with the heat and the dirt drying up on you.
Well, in a little bit of a funk during the tournament, 3 for 22 after hitting 370 during the regular season. Transfer from Indiana. It's amazing what this week and a half can do in Omaha for players, draft status, legendary status within their schools, given their performance. Just go back to last year and what Langford did and what Cruz did and Rhett Lauder did for Wake Forest, let alone the elephant in the room now dominating the major leagues,
Yes.
Paul Skeens. And some guys are just built differently, and what we saw from Skeens through his year at LSU and what we're watching him do in the majors, like, you just recognize there's just a few dudes that are different.
Different, you're right, built different.
It's
And he's
another
built
level.
different a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
From a mental standpoint, obviously from a physical standpoint. The question I got is what took so long to get him there? I mean, what took so long? I mean, really?
And by major league standards,
I have a
kind of
theory.
fast.
Yeah, for major league standards, but not for somebody that's a difference
Do you
maker like he
you
is.
want to throw a guess out?
I have a theory. I don't think it was the time. I think it was the jerseys. They were delayed in being made for the fans because there's a lot of those out there.
Wicked pitch from DeCaro, and Whalen went fishing.
Big time fishing right there.
What, the theory?
No, that pitch, that slider on the outside part. I mean, if you're waving at me, howdy, huh? How about this breaking ball? It just works it well off the outside part of the plate. And that's what we heard from DeCaro, right? The fastball is good, but he's going to rack up strikeouts when he gets the breaking balls going. I mean, it's two different breaking balls for him. You know, it's the slider and then the curveball. The slider's got more of a sweeping, kind of a horizontal, kind of right to left. The curveball's got a little more depth, a little less mile per hour behind it.
Ball.
Inside to Griff O'Farrell, who told us a story yesterday. He was originally going to be named Tug. And then his mom said, that's a bit aggressive, so she changed it to James. The middle name is actually Griff. So in class, you know, he'll raise his hand and he would say James, and people will look at him like, wait a minute, who's James? I thought your name was Griff. He certainly made a name for himself at Virginia. This dude is going to play and likely stick at shortstop at the next level. He's the guy that O'Connor will go to kind of get a pulse of the locker room. Needs somebody to come up and speak. He is the one to do it. You talk about building better men, all these coaches, and you give a tip of the hat to all of them. Their ability to relate to so many different people in the clubhouse, that's high. Form relationships that last a lifetime.
I mean, it's a tough world right now for coaches. We've talked about that a lot. Transfer portal and everything that's going on. It's a tough world. All these teams that are here right now, obviously trying to win the College World Series, but they're on the phone nonstop all day long. Transfer portal's open. They're trying to grab guys out of the portal.
3 balls, 1 strike on the way. No, it's a throw over to first. Yeah, it was Forbes who was telling us this morning, like, you know, we're here. I'm trying to focus on our game. I'm on the phone last night, 9:30, talking to somebody at Division III who may be in the portal and come on and join us.
Yeah, I mean,
no rest.
You'd like to be able to get to this point. It's where everybody wants to be and focus just on trying to win the College World Series, but that's not where the game is right now.
Runner goes on a 3-1. That's ball 4. Wow.
Wow.
That's 3 wows.
That ball looked like it caught the plate to me.
Oh, caught a lot of white. Little blind spot right there, maybe for the umpire.
Take a look at this. Maybe it was called low. It certainly got the plate.
You be the judge. Down, good frame job, but down.
That's where not all catchers, but most catchers are now. Down on one knee, dropping the glove, and then working from the ground up, trying to steal pitches. Wasn't able to steal that one.
Well, big spot for Ethan Anderson. He is 3rd all-time in doubles. He's got 58 of those. Swing and a miss. He was swinging for more than a double there, and it is amazing with the wind kind of blowing now to left. Look at how shallow Honeycutt is out there in center field.
Yeah, he's been playing there the entire night, the entire afternoon as well. That was right there the best changeup he's thrown in this game.
Well, Honeycutt's got that 80 grade speed, right? I mean, it's as good as it gets, so he can play a little bit shallower than most.
0-2, 2 down. Little activity out there in the Carolina bullpen. DeCaro, once again, the exception of the second inning, has had to work around traffic. On the ground to third, and he will tag the base runner heading to third base. That's Godbout, and that will end it with Gavin Gallagher and the ball in the glove. 3.5 in the books. The goal is to win it all. The road to Omaha with 1 step to go. Welcome back, everyone, to Omaha, Nebraska, as we begin our 2024 Men's College World Series with big-time blue blood programs. 2 of them on the field today: Virginia, North Carolina. Florida State is here. They're trying to win their first. Kentucky for the first time this year. Tennessee trying to become the first #1 seed to win a World Series since Miami did it in 1999, like the curse of the #1 seed. And Tennessee is locked and loaded with all sorts of talent.
Might be the most complete team here. When you talk about hitting, obviously the home runs over 107, they lead the nation, but they can pitch it too. I mean, top 5 pitching staff in the entire country.
Tony Vitello's got a machine there. And keeps spitting out teams that get to Omaha, trying to finish the deal this year. Luke Stevenson would lead things off here in the bottom half of the 4th inning against Evan Blanco, who fires another one in there. Blanco says, I take the mound, man. I got no nerves at all. Mom Suzanne, instrumental in his life. She is my rock, he said. She's done everything for him. Put him in baseball. Off speed, right field, end of the bat. That one's going to get down in front of South. And Luke Stevenson is aboard. Leadoff man is aboard.
That's a great piece of hitting. You're 0-2. You have to protect, open up a little bit. And if you miss anywhere near that strike zone, Stevenson's going to make you pay. Where's that one batting glove? Think about how many hitters go up there just with one batting glove, top hand. Not using one. Gets that base hit. Started doing that maybe a month ago.
Second inning that he has led off with a hit and some high cheese from Blanco to get ahead of Alberto Osuna. Blanco's idol, he said, growing up watching John Lester. It's when he fell in love with baseball. He's got a bunch of his boys in Woburn who are now in New Hampshire watching this game, rooting him on every step of the way. He said, just say, give us a little shout out to Derek, Joe, Ryan, Chuck, and his cousin Andrew up there in New Hampshire checking this game out. Working ahead of Osuna. Got him. Alex Cora's watching. He, of course, suffered some heartache at the College World Series, but he is watching, and we will see his Red Sox Sunday night against Judge and Soto and the New York Yankees, the AL East leading Yankees. And Ben, we'll talk about the Yankees, the Orioles, and the AL East. The 3-game set gets wrapped up at Fenway. Coverage starts 5 Eastern time with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown.
Remember in 2016 when Alex was out there, sidelines?
On the ground, possible double play. Oh, Farrell, Godbout, no. Yeah, I remember. I think Pedialyte helped get him through it.
That sun was bearing down on him. It was bearing down on him in a major way.
Speaking of the Birds, how about Adley Rutschman, his career in college?
Yeah, difference maker. You talk about a difference maker, yes. He's been one of them. I mean, ever since he put an Oriole uniform on at the big league level, the Orioles have done nothing but win. And Gunnar Henderson's pretty good too, by the way.
Yep.
2-year-old shortstop.
Yeah. And here is the 9-hole hitter, Wilkerson. That one is high. Very likable kid. He's got such a baby face, this Colby Wilkerson. He sits down and you wonder, like, are you in high school, junior high? Like, what are we talking about? He got a haircut just for this event. Forbes tells the great story the first time he saw Wilkerson. He was playing catch with his dad.
Ball.
And he acknowledges, like, for anyone else, you look at him and you're like, why are we offering him a scholarship? Freshman year in 21, he ended up at second base. They thought he'd end up being a backup. They brought in Madera, thought he'd be the shortstop. Colby ends up at shortstop again. Just started switch hitting again last year. And his brother Daniel, who played at Randolph-Macon, and this one is lifted high down the line. Into the corner it goes. And boy, that was near home run distance, but it's fouled by about 10 feet. His brother Daniel played at Randolph-Macon, and they lost their clubby to become an airplane pilot, so his brother is now that guy.
Wow, with a lot of baseball skill. Tell you what, he hit a big home run against West Virginia. Get them closer in the 7th inning. Got the fans up at home in North Carolina.
His first one at home. He's got 3 on the year on a 2-1 pitch.
Ball.
He's also from the right side, so he's got pop from the right side. Sneaky pop.
Yeah, especially when he can get himself in these situations, right? Fastball counts. He can get his foot down and get the head out there.
Told me yesterday, he said he's gained 25 pounds since his freshman year. I said, I've gained 100.
Since your freshman year or the last 4 years?
Since my freshman year.
Think about it like that. That's only like 2 pounds a year. So if you say it like that, that's not much. The problem is it's been a lot of years, you know. Adds up. 2 pounds a year, say it like that, it's not bad.
3-2, beaten into the ground, charged beautifully by O'Farrell, and from one shortstop to another. We are through 4, the middle of the order for Virginia. Sauke, Ford, Ferentz when we come back to Omaha in a 1-1 game.
Well, the freshman Jason DeCaro has been dominating to his glove side with that hard 4-seam fastball, working it right off the outside edge. Why is that so important? Because it sets up those breaking balls on the outside edge. So he's tunneling them right out of the same thing. So establish the fastball, then he starts working the sliders right off the outside edge. Couple sliders there, and a really good curveball. 2 different shapes on the breaking balls. That's what you call tunneling the ball, coming out of the same window, working the fastballs, comes out of the same spot, and then breaking balls behind it. The key is when he's gotten ahead, he's been able to finish guys 6 strikeouts.
He'll get the heart of the order as he's back on the bump, and Sauke, a fastball a little high. He goes to all fields. He's got 4 home runs the other way. 3, 4, 5. Ford will be up next. He's got a single. He knocked in the only run of the game for Virginia.
Ball.
2 balls, no strikes. I don't know, Ben, do you start to think maybe this is the last inning here for DeCaro?
I think so. I mean, you're talking about a true freshman. You know, he's over 90 innings of work on the season. And don't forget, he made 2 starts in their regional. He started game 1, he started the final game, and of course got a start 2 in the super regional as well. So he's worked a lot as a freshman. I mean, you don't mind it when you're a sophomore or a junior and a senior and you start to build up. But going from high school and then approaching, you know, a little over 90 innings of work now. So you got to wonder how much fuel he's got left in the tank.
My concern is the swing and miss rate 3rd time through the year. Not good at all compared to early in the game. First 2 times around.
3-0. You green light the 3-hole hitter with 14 homers?
No.
Not in this ballpark.
3-1. The home runs will likely be down the lines. You can get it out into both bullpens, and you really give it a ride, you can get it over.
Ball 4.
So that's ball 4. Leadoff man is aboard. Interesting, you got these 2 southern schools, obviously, and you got 2 kids from the Northeast, Massachusetts and New York, on the mound. Very little regional about the programs and their reach. Walker trying to stay cool. Again, the temperature is only 87 degrees. You say only in Omaha. We'll see triple digits. Ben's favorite. Eduardo loves when the temps go into the hundos.
Doesn't take long to get loose, does it?
No, there's a benefit there.
A little cooler up there, maybe. Carl, we got to
That's
ride that thing.
No, we don't, because look, it's not
Come on,
moving. Can you imagine just being stuck up top there, Ben?
It's a great view, though.
Henry Ford will come to the plate. You wonder if this is an effort to allow those guys in the bullpen to get warm. As he comes to the plate, we go down to Danny.
Yeah, I wanted to share a little bit. You see he's wearing number 9, guys. That's for his grandpa, also for Ted Williams. But his grandpa was the one who actually got him into baseball. 2 months old, grandpa was carrying him around the field at UVA games, pointing out players. There's Zim, there's Dew. And he grew up around this game. He said his first at bat in the uniform, his legs were shaking, but this school means so much to him. But he wears that number 9 to honor his grandpa, who showed him how much love he had for this game and for Virginia.
That's right. And Father's Day, of course, Sunday. It's not just about the dads, but the granddads. We celebrated Mother's Day, and so many of these guys talk about the impact that both the dads and moms had on them. They often cite the fact that dad was a little tougher. You know, mom was the nice deal with tough love from dad on the way you performed, and then mom kind of steps in. As Jason DeCaro is stepping out, and he'll get a nice hand from the Carolina folks. Poston and Pence were warming up. We'll see who comes through that bullpen door when we come back. Looks like the righty Poston coming in. Getting down here, everything around the downtown area, more and more baseball activities. Just saw some fan fest there. DeCaro is out. Ben, let's slap a grade on DeCaro.
I would give him a B- just because I'd like a little more length out of him. But for a guy that I think that's running on fumes in his true freshman year, just turned 18 years old, really a solid outing for him. You give up 1 run, you lead off batters on. There's our new pitcher. That's Matt Poston. See what he is making his 28th appearance of the year. ERA a little bit elevated, but a really good strikeout to walk ratio, 50 strikeouts and 17 walks. Fastball tick up to 94, 95. Not a whole lot of secret for him. It's pretty much fastball, changeup.
Ball.
He leans heavily on his fastball. He's going to throw his fastball just about 78% of the time.
Well, he's got to deal with Ford, who has elite bat speed, exit velocity, and hard hit rates, all in the 90th percentile.
Yeah, the cleanup hitter. Single and RBI last time up, and he is now ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Against the big senior Poston, who's out there on that mound, stands 6'4", 235, gave up a home run and 3 runs in the 9th Friday against Long Island, but he got bailed out. Fires over to first base.
Henry Ford really into his legs in that batter's box. Strong foundation. Uses them to be able to drive the ball. He goes gap to gap. Wind here at Charles Schwab blowing straight in right now during this at-bat.
And the pitcher, you know that. You know, you want to challenge more in the zone.
Ball.
3 balls and a strike. As you can see the flags in center field. It's been blowing in. It's been blowing to right. It's been blowing to left a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like he's changed a little bit in the last 30 minutes, blowing more straight in. He's kind of left to right when the game began.
Yeah, this is a 3-1 dangerous pitch, and he grooves one right down the middle to go 3-2. Ford's a Team USA invite this summer. He is a monster, moves pretty well too. He was a shortstop and third baseman in high school. And he went to the Baylor School in Tennessee, left Charlottesville for high school. And this one high in the air, fairly deep by this ballpark standards, but underneath it and making an easy play is Honeycutt. Ford is retired. It's a big out, battling back from 3-1 against Henry Ford to get him to fly out.
It's a nice piece of hitting, just wrong ballpark. Good approach. Stay up the middle. That's his true approach. Good power to the gaps. Just finding out how hard it is when that wind is blowing in.
And that's what's different about this ballpark, right? So many of these teams that are here, we got some big-time power teams here, you know, and the ballparks are typically small that they play in. Do you change what you're doing offensively? I mean, and that's why for me, if the wind's going to blow in, a team like Kentucky that can really pressure you up, they play a lot of. I mean, look, North Carolina will bunt a little bit, Virginia will too, but Kentucky's game is pressuring you when they get on base. They're going to bunt, they're going to hit and run, they're going to speed your defense up. In a big ballpark with the wind blowing in, I think favors a team like Kentucky as long as it's blowing in.
Ferentz, right field. That one sends D'Onofrio back, still back, now stops on the track. And those are two balls hit fairly hard by both Ford and Ferentz, and neither find any grass or go over the wall. They end up in gloves.
And that's the point right there. I mean, those balls typically in a regular season are balls that typically get over the fence, but not here, not in this situation.
And it plays. That's why a lot of people have talked about, yes, Kentucky could sneak up on you like that. Look, UNC the same way. They have a lot of speed in that outfield. They can run them down. They can also beat you with their defense and their speed.
Poston came on in relief of DeCaro, and he fell behind Ford 3-1. Since it's gotten a pop out from Ford and Ferentz, and now it's Harrison Didowick behind 0-1. On the ground, fielded by the first baseman, and Harbor will take it himself and step on the bag. Good job out of the bullpen. First man up. Poston. Bottom 5 when we come back. We are back, and one of the best players in the history of North Carolina baseball is in the stands. Another one is set to come up, Danny.
Yeah, that's right. When you get the comparison to Dustin Ackley, that's what Scott Forbes said. He's in the Ackley League. He's a walking base hit. Scott Forbes said, I have never seen anything like Vance Honeycutt. He's got a bazooka in the outfield. I don't know if I'll ever coach anybody like him. He's so refreshing. He instantly makes locker rooms better. But how cool is that, comparing him to Ackley, who's here in the stands, guys?
Yeah, it's incredible. That's a wonderful man to be compared to as Dustin watches on. The record for most hits in a College World Series, and here's Honeycutt. Lays down a push bunt. This is a race to first. He dives. He's tagged out. Nice play by Henry Ford. Honeycutt's done that with all his power. Great speed, and that time Ford just got it and was able to beat him to the bag or the tag.
They did it in the Super Regionals as well. And look, this is a great idea. You're leading off the inning. Second baseman's playing up the middle. The only thing, he hit it too much towards the line, and it gave him an opportunity to make the play. A little bit more towards the right. Honeycutt's safe, and he's leading off with a single. Great play.
And a huge relief for Blanco. He wasn't going to beat Honeycutt to the bag, but Ford did the job for him, and the speedy leadoff hitter is retired here in the 5th. This is Cook, 0-1. Good breaking pitch. Blanco continues to deal. His efficiency's been very good. And with the count 0-2, Virginia moves their third baseman over behind second base.
Ball.
Brian O'Connor told us if Blanco's going to have success, it's because he stays down in the strike zone. Now, he will, like that last pitch, he said occasionally he'll come up with the fastball just to kind of change the eye level a little bit, but he wants to be down in the zone.
He gets Cook for the first time and pumps his fist after that fastball went by him. And there were 2 down in the bottom of the 5th as Cook is retired.
How about back-to-back heaters just above the top of the zone? Go back going top shelf. Four-seamer just rides it right to the top.
One place he had not gone with Cook was elevating until this at-bat.
I love the fact he's doing something different. Third time through the lineup now.
Ball.
Well, you ask O'Connor about Blanco. He said, look, if you go out there and try to take the ball from him, he's going to fight you.
And O'Connor said, I love that about him. I absolutely love that about him.
Stay right there. Just continue to elevate. Do not go to the changeup. Again, came into this game hitting .600 against the changeup. Already hits a double earlier on in the game in the first inning.
1-2. Yeah, there's a word to describe those folks from Massachusetts who will fight you all the time, which we're not going to share with you, but he's got some of that bulldog in him.
Competitor. Those are the guys you want in your uniform.
On a 1-2. So rather than use that word, maybe today we go with masty. Like instead of nasty, he's been masty.
Masty.
Massachusetts.
Like it.
See what we did there. Okay.
Safe. Ahead 1-2 on Harbor, trying to get his first 1-2-3 inning, and he thought he landed one, but he doesn't.
Always has that change-up grip in that left hand.
He has given you 5+ innings in 9 of his last 10 games starting. One more out here will get him through the 5th.
There it is right there. Does he go to it 3-2 or does he go with the fastball in?
Call for
Oh, they're all coming off the field.
Everybody's bouncing.
They all moved, all 8 of them were heading towards the dugout, but no.
Home plate umpire Scott Klein just flat out misses this one. That is a strike every day of the week and twice on Sunday, but not called there.
Oh, man.
Just a perfect changeup right to the inside edge. Like that's strike 3.
Well, we'll see. One of the maturation points for Blanco has been this, the ability to kind of deal with a bad call, and he will be able to do it. On a ground ball, the second the force out is made. So he didn't let it bother him. One pitch to get out of it, and he's kind of chuckling about that one. Game 1 underway of this College World Series, a pitcher's duel. Into the bullpen goes Carolina. And Evan Blanco smiling his way back to the dugout for Virginia. It is 1-1 in traditionally what has been a low-scoring affair. The Men's College World Series, depending on the wind and weather conditions. And right now, only 2 runs in this game 1. A little later, high-powered offense in Tennessee. How about what Florida State did, man, to get here in year 2 after not even making the ACC tournament in Link Jarrett's first year. He's got him now back at the World Series, 24th appearance for them. Bracket 2 will be on the field tomorrow. Well, the first time that we've had this setup with just 2 conferences represented in the 8-team format. The last time we had it, there were 2 teams playing for a World Series, not 8. So it's Tennessee, Kentucky, A&M, and Florida. So Florida and Carolina both represented by 2 different programs, NC and NC State, Florida and Florida State. And Florida and Kevin O'Sullivan just eked in as they moved a game over 500 late and found it in the postseason. Poston sends that one a little high. 2 balls, no strikes to Godbout.
Well, Poston was good when he came in. Inherited a no-out runner at first base situation. A couple of fly balls and a ground out.
Talk about lineup construction, Eduardo. I know you get into that. You know, this is the 3rd time Godbout has been up, and it's the 3rd time he's led off an inning.
Ball.
Almost got him there. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Godbout, who struck out. Then he singled. He advanced to second, and that is where his inning ended in the 4th.
One thing Godbout has been able to do is hit right-handed pitching really well this year, hitting over 400.
All of those, the ones that missed, were way inside. Lead off walk.
Guys, earlier today talked to Bryant Gaines, pitching coach for Carolina, about Poston, and I asked, tell me a little bit about this guy, why you like him so much. He said, he's the guy I'm going to miss the most on this team. You know why? Because in the clubhouse, in the dugout, he's one of the most liked guys, goofing around, one of the funniest. And then when he gets on the mound, he just becomes an animal, and I am going to miss that so much when he's gone.
Hampton, South Carolina. Here's Becker. Third baseman way in. That one misses. Did you have multiple personalities, Ben? Were you different guy on the mound, or were you pretty consistent?
No, I was different on the mound. Like, you know, as a starting pitcher, you got 4 days to keep the club loose, but when it's your day, you come to the ballpark in a little bit different frame of mind, you know. because you know that's your 1 day out of 5 that you're going to go to work.
He does push it. Boy, that's a risky play. Gallagher is way in and charging every time you see Becker.
Yeah, Virginia's done a good job. I mean, this is 4 out of 6 innings. The leadoff batter has reached for Virginia, but yet they only have 1 run on the scoreboard.
If you try to bunt this, it's better to bunt it towards the first base side than the third base side.
One of the better defensive teams in the nation, North Carolina, especially in the outfield. And this one is going towards left field. This one's to the line. This one is down. It goes to the wall. Godbout to third. Breaks are on there. A double the other way for Becker, and Virginia has got the first 2 men on in the 6th with nobody out.
Brian O'Connor takes the bunt sign away and says, swing the bat, young man. It's exactly what he did right there. Gets a fastball, middle away, lets it travel and hits it down the line and left. 2 runners in scoring position, and that will force now the defense to play corners in, middle infield back.
Whalen gets the signal from Kevin McMullen, the third base coach. He's the 9-hole hitter. Swinging away, and he fouls it off at the plate. They have not bunted. If anybody at home was wondering, like, is this the guy to do it? They have not bunted all year with runners at second and third.
Well, this is the College World Series. Element of surprise? Why not?
Ball.
Boy, Matt Poston is max effort. You can hear him grunt just about on every pitch.
Whalen is 3 for 23 in the postseason. He's looking for one big hit. Couldn't pull the trigger there, and Poston moves ahead 1-2. Huge opportunity for the Cavaliers here in Game 1 of this World Series. Double elimination format. 1-2. Poston, you can hear it, Ben, you're right, and he is throwing downhill and trying to throw as hard as he can with more activity in that Carolina pen.
Well, this is the situation you want to strike out, and he can strike out some guys. More strikeouts than innings pitched. He would love one right here.
Got it. He was late. It was nearly in the glove when Whalen swung at it. He's 0 for 3.
Well, that's reaching back for a little bit extra when you need it. And Poston's got a fastball that he'll throw about 78% of the time, but it's got a lot of carry through the zone. So not high velocity, but he uses that spin rate to his advantage. You see the swing just underneath that ball. Lets that ball just ride through the zone. It's got good carry through the zone. You'll see a lot of swings just under the ball right there, but that's a well-placed fastball by Poston there.
And here is Griff O'Farrell out of Richmond, Virginia. Leadoff hitter, huge spot. Swings and sends this one to center field. That sends Honeycutt back. That's going to get the run in from third as Godbout will tag. It's 2-1 Virginia. Good job by Griff O'Farrell to give the Cavs the lead.
Boy, those are the situations offensively you have to be good in, right? When you don't need a base hit to score a run, can you figure out a way to do it?
And fly ball pitcher, why not? Look up in the zone with that high spin. Don't waste any time.
That's what a leader of a team will do for you, and certainly on this biggest stage. O'Farrell RBI. 2-1 Cavaliers. At third base now is Becker for Ethan Anderson. And it looks like Poston is not going to get a chance to face Anderson. Looks like they're going to bring in the lefty to face the lefty. That's Dalton Pence. He's coming in. O'Farrell's feeling good. The who's and the heels in a good one to open up this 2024 World Series. Virginia's got a 2-1 lead with a runner at third. 2 down. We'll come back with a pitching change here in Omaha.
I think a lot of teams come in here playing with house money, and that #1 seed is thinking, okay, target's on us. We have to do a little bit more, and they end up doing a little bit less. I was a #1 seed coming in here one time, and we were out in 2.
2 in barbecue. That was it.
1991.
It's funny you guys say that, because when you talk to Tony Vitello as the #1 seed, he said, we actually feel like we're the underdogs here because the #1 seed never actually wins at all. He said, we're kind of carrying that over from the Evansville team, that 4 seed that they faced in the Super. So I kind of find that funny. That
Are you buying that, Danny?
Yeah, I'm buying it. Listen.
Danny, you know what they call that?
What is that, Ben?
Spin.
Come on, Danny.
That's spinning it.
I don't fall for that. What are you talking about?
Spinning it. Hey.
Ben, did you know that gullible isn't in the dictionary?
It's not?
No. Did you know that?
What's your point?
You did there, Danny?
It's not only spinning it, it's a high spinning it rate.
Yeah, that's a high spin.
Well, here's Dalton Pence, the sophomore, 6'2", 215, Cherryville, North Carolina. Lefty on left. Makes sense numbers-wise. Anderson hits .371 against righties and 100 points less against lefties.
How about 71 strikeouts in just 53 innings of work for Dalton Pence?
So runner at third with 2 down. First pitch, slow roller to first, got a lot of spin on it, and a good job by Harbor, because that, as we continue to talk about spin, nearly got away from Harbor, but it didn't. We're heading to the bottom of the... Fascinating to watch how the officials handle the whistles after the complaints on Luka and his fouling out of that game 3. So we'll see game 4 tonight, 8:30. First pitch just foul. That one was ripped by Gallagher and didn't miss by much.
We'll see what Blanco can do. First time he takes the mound with the lead so far today, and it comes in this bottom of the 6th inning. Just at 71 pitches, so he's been pretty efficient.
Talk about their inability to win those big games away from home. Forbes pointed out, like, we swept Wake at Wake. We beat Chase Burns. And maybe the home record was so great it almost overshadows, you know, how sort of good he believes they were and can be on the road. But make no mistake about it, they are currently in a position to need some of that Bosch magic here. And to left field. And that one is up and it is playable for Didowick, and that retires Gallagher.
Right here, Evan Blanco, one thing he's been able to do is go arm side early and often. Get the hitters to start looking out there and start chasing a little bit more. And then he has the ability to go left on left, glove side to also get the freeze. But when you're a right-handed hitter, if you commit to just outside and soft, he'll freeze you inside, and that's exactly what he's done this afternoon.
He's only come inside a couple times today. We heard he might pitch inside a little bit more. His day's not complete yet.
They are getting out of him just what they wanted from the starter. 73 pitches, 1 out, 6th inning. And Stevenson, first pitch, bounces in the dirt.
Blanco's been in a good groove. I mean, his last 3 starts, he's gone 6 innings twice and 7 innings his last time out. So he's been able to give a lot of length.
And this one to right field, and coming hard and making the play is Sauki, and they're at 2 down, Danny.
Yeah, Carl, you mentioned Evan's mom earlier, Suzanne, and he told us earlier this week that she is the rock. She's the one who got him into T-ball. She has done everything for him. He told us that he didn't grow up with his dad, and so mom was tough on him. He said, I am super thankful that she was that way with me. I grew up playing in my backyard with my cousins, but she's the one who put me into T-ball and said, let's see what happens, guys.
Yeah, there's a great picture of Evan with his mom, Suzanne. He's got 2 down in the 6th very quickly on 2 flyouts from Gallagher and Stevenson. This is Osuna.
Got great presence on the mound. Gets that ball, gets right on the rubber again, ready to deliver the next one.
Carl, and you talked about him growing up. I mean, the last inning, he thought he had strike 3. It didn't bother him at all. He settled right back in and got weak contact and got off the field. You know, and early in his career, maybe his last year as a freshman, that one pitch that was a strike that was called a ball would have maybe bothered him and led to a bigger inning, but not now. He has really grown up on the mound.
I'll tell you one guy that has not been able to figure him out is Alberto Osuna. So far 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts this season against Blanco.
Blanco has not necessarily gone deep in counts. He's only got 3 strikeouts. He may have thought he had 4 there, but it's a little bit off, and it's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another quality start. He can get Osuna to deal with 8 and 9 in the next inning, and he does. That's the third strikeout of Osuna in the game, and 6 on the season in 7 at-bats.
Yeah, maybe the best changeup of the day by him. This thing just bottomed out. Starts it with 2 strikes right towards the bottom of the zone, and watch the depth on this changeup. That's how you turn one over. Virginia up 2-1 as we head to the top of the 7th.
Omaha, Nebraska, the heartland. It is the hot spot this time of year for baseball players of all ages, and in particular these college kids trying to check off the I would like to win a College World Series dream. We got 3 innings left of game 1 today, and this ball is put up in the air on the first pitch. D'Onofrio now moving in a little bit, shows which way the wind is blowing things, and Casey Sauke is retired. Redshirt sophomore, Pence on the mound. Just before the Chapel Hill Regional Championship, he went to Scott Forbes and said, you know, Nolan Ryan once threw 235 pitches in a game. Sort of suggesting I will do whatever is necessary, and he's been great as this one is headed towards the left field line, and he'll get into the seats. But over the weekend, he threw 117 pitches in 3 appearances. 58 came in a relief outing. That was against LSU. They got the Diamond Heels to the Super Regional the next weekend. And he's their guy. He's got 1 out here. And this one is to right, towards the gap, but it stays up in the air. D'Onofrio has made a couple of outs. Most pitches you threw in a game, Ben?
212.
212.
Yeah, 212, and then close the next day in high school, senior year in high school. Yeah, state semifinal game, 212, pitched all 13 innings, and through the last 4 innings the next day of the state championship game.
Wow.
I had to do a lot of stuff left-handed for about a week.
Man, that's incredible.
Hopefully you did it well.
But 212, what do you think? 40 the next day?
No, it was 4 innings of relief, so I think it was closer to 50. Yeah.
Wow.
So about 270 pitches in about 24 hours.
How was Kip Berman feeling about that?
He wasn't real excited about it.
1 ball, 1 strike to Ferentz. Kind of absorbing that, Ben. I didn't know you were going to go with 212.
Yeah, I went over 200 too.
Can't even get that area code anymore.
No.
The New York City area code and the 1-2. That one hit him. 2 outs and a hit batter. Ferentz will head down to first base. Price, I guess, right, Ben, you pay for coming inside ahead of him.
Yeah, and this is the problem with college kids, right, is command of the fastball. And you want to pitch inside a little bit more, but you really got to work at it to pitch inside, because that's what happens a lot when you try to go inside. You end up hitting guys.
Harrison Didowick.
Yes.
That's the strike. O'Farrell, Anderson, Sauke, and Didowick were all here last year. Harrison has had opportunities today with all these guys on. He has left 6 on so far today. And he is behind 0-2. Caro started this one, then it was Poston and Pence. Blanco, we'll see if he comes out. Given the way he's pitched, he's not ready for a discussion about not coming out. 0-2.
Oh. Check out Didowick at the plate. Starts pumping that left arm in. a la Joe Morgan a little bit. Right on his setup.
Is that just a trigger for him?
Keep the elbow down. They're pumping a little bit. Just keep it down a little.
Oh! Runner goes, throw down, and he hit for a slide, safe. As Ferentz, close play. He picks up steal number 12 on the season.
That's a good jump right there, and that's first move. You go. If he picks over, then hats off, but it's a gamble you're taking. As soon as he kicks that leg up, you go. Trust the sign, trust your head coach. Good slide to the back of the bag.
Really close. They're going to review it.
No, he's safe.
Oh, yeah. That shouldn't take very long. The review system, though, in place. Given the time of the game and the length where we're at, 7th inning, you may as well take a look at it. All the umpires in the stands recognize that the hand got to the bag.
Yeah, he's safe.
See it bend before the glove of Wilkerson gets slapped down on it. Well, that certainly increases the opportunities for Didowick to drive a run in.
Yeah, Virginia today 1 for 8 runners in scoring position. North Carolina 0 for 4 runners in scoring position today.
Think about what O'Connor has done with his program, and it's certainly been very aggressive this year. Over 850 wins for him, a national title in 14, a winning percentage of over 700. 14 straight postseasons. They've been in the World Series in 9, 11, 14, 15, 21, 23, and of course here in 24.
After review, the call of safe at second base is confirmed. North Carolina will be charged with its first challenge and has 1 remaining.
The same way that Carolina became known as Chapel Thrill and Bosch Magic, etc. Virginia, again, has made a living in the postseason with 2-out RBIs and a chance for Didowick to do it here in a 2-1 game. Ball. Is that a mindset? Is that a mentality? Eddie, you get 2 outs, get a guy in scoring position. Like, is there some level of focus you find?
100% there is for each one, and this is drills that they practice on a daily basis.
3-2. Swing and a miss on a nasty pitch in the dirt. That's what makes Pence so special. Virginia 2, Carolina 1. The Bulldogs set to go back on the mound. He'll face one of the most dangerous hitters in the country, Vance Honeycutt, when we come back. Hope you're enjoying the beginning of this 2024 Men's College World Series. It's presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And it's presented by Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, now playing only in theaters. Yeah, 06, 07 in Oregon State. Did them in both years. Carolina has been this far. Of course, Mike Fox, head coach, who is here and rooting him on. He's seen this before, and he's hoping that we can come back today like we did at home during the postseason. 36 appearances, and looking for national championship #1. Madera, Wilkerson, 8, 9, and 1, and that one is underneath the glove of Becker. What a start, Madera. That seemed to perhaps catch Becker by surprise. It was so quick. Blanco threw it, swung at it, and it was under his glove before he could react.
Yeah, he let it travel. Let that ball travel, caught it deep, and stayed with the foundation. Was able to keep it fair. Watch his back leg right here. Recognizes, just puts that heel down. The ball was past him before he even realized it.
Now here is Wilkerson, the 9-hole hitter. Honeycutt on deck. Blanco's 82nd pitch, squaring the bunt. When you do that, you leave first base open. Might take the bat out of Honeycutt's hands if it's successful.
that's okay. Cook has had really good at-bats so far this afternoon, and you'd be putting on the go-ahead run as well.
Oh. How did he get out of the way of that?
I don't know how that ball missed him. Square around the bunt, and I mean, you get one. How did that?
Wow.
And how do you keep that ball in front if you're Ferentz, the catcher?
Haven't seen that one very often at all. 1-0 to Wilkerson. A couple of throws over too, and you wonder maybe buying time. They got some relief work up right now in the pen. Chase Hungate, the righty, is getting loose and getting ready and throwing hard. This is almost impossible. Wilkerson's reaction kind of says, like, my goodness, that was almost disaster. 1-0 does it, puts it down, good one. Blanco with the glove, flips it. But in the scoring position goes Madera. Wilkerson gets the job done, and here comes Vance Honeycutt.
It's a heck of a job. After that pitch goes right behind your head, able to get it down, move the runner over, put the main attraction for North Carolina at the plate.
You asked this question about West Virginia when Honeycutt hit the walk-off. Like, what do you do here? You're pitching to him? Are you pitching carefully?
Oh, 100% I'm pitching to him, but I'm going to lose with my pitch.
Strike one at the letters.
And the situation's different. One, it's not a walk-off situation, but two, the wind in the ballpark also play big here. Keep him to the big part of the ballpark.
Yeah, this is what we used to call a pattern 3. And pattern 3 meant everything is on the edge. I'm making my pitches on the edge, but it's kind of like playing golf. I'm not going to miss over. If I miss, I'm missing off the plate.
Got a big rip at it. So the story about Honeycutt is, you know, the legend grows. He hit the walk-off, and after he hit the walk-off, he realizes, like, my bat is rattling. It may be broken. He comes back the next day and leads the game off with a homer using a new bat. The bat that he hit the walk-off actually broke. New bat, homer. 0-2 here. Popped up, and this one should be playable. Not easy for Ford. He's backwards, and it is caught by the right fielder who came in. No, dropped. It did not get caught in between them. Boy, that had some Arkansas flavor to it from a few years ago.
Almost the exact same ball, Oregon State and Arkansas.
And if you're wondering why that bounce not even near, it's because they're playing the shift. So this is a really tough play for Ford to make. Same time, Saki just couldn't get there. That's what happens when that second baseman's nowhere near.
Well, let's see. Will Honeycutt make them pay?
Ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you give these kind of hitters extra opportunities.
Yes.
Maybe he should have been out. But more times than not, they seem to come through.
Looked like Sauke had a chance if he was busting to get that ball.
Yeah, he pulled up for me just at the end.
1-2 Honeycutt. This is the 4th time that Blanco has seen Vance Honeycutt. Rounded out, flew out to center, and then hit one, bunted one on the ground to first that Ford fielded and tagged him. Biggest spot of this game, bottom 7, with 1 down, the tying run at second.
Great take. Tracked it all the way. Now he has him set up for a pitch inside, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the problem with going with it. Yeah, exactly. It's got to be on the corner, but if you miss, you got to miss inside, not over the plate. If you mess around and leave one on the inner third of the plate here, and Honeycutt can turn around and hit it down the line for a homer.
11 homers against lefties this year, and he pulls one foul. How different has his season been than everybody else's? This is his second 25 homer, 25 steal season. This year, no one else even had a 20-20 season. No one.
Came into this game hitting against lefties, 560 off the fastball.
Blanco's 91st pitch. What a battle. What a battle going on between Vance Honeycutt and Evan Blanco.
It's got to be the changeup here. I mean, when I throw my best fastball and a guy's that far out in front of it, it tells me he's really not respecting anything off speed. And if he can get this changeup, now it's got to be down and it's got to be on the outside part of the plate.
This is the 9th pitch of this at bat. 2-2 on the ground is short. Farrell fires across, and the speedy Honeycutt is retired.
That was well done with that changeup right there. Threw enough fastballs to speed the bat up. And you read bats. I mean, the scouting report is one thing, right? That's how I want to attack guys. But I'm also, as a pitcher and a catcher, I got to read the bat. And the bat told me he took my best fastball to pitch before this and he yanked it foul. So now I got to take a little bit off. Like a little breaking ball, just working right to the outside part of the plate. He gets weak contact.
Casey Cook is due up. Heading out to the mound is Ferentz. This is just to buy time after that 9-pitch at bat, or will they make a pitching change? Cook has got a single and a double. He struck out his last time up.
One thing that he was able to do against Honeycutt in this at bat is continue to challenge him with fastball changeup. First goes away with changeup, then fastball up, back to the fastball in, breaking pitch. That's the only one you'll see there. The rest after that is changeup away, fastball in, off speed again, changeup, down and away, exactly like you said, Ben, to be able to get that ground ball out.
Read the bats. The hitter will tell you what he's trying to do at the plate.
Blanco stays in. They just shifted their infield a little bit late, and that's a called strike as he gets ahead of Cook. They had Godbout playing much deeper on the grass at second, and they actually had O'Farrell on the right side of second. Last minute before that first pitch, they moved him back. And Ian at second. And Cook sends this to left. It's going to get down. We may have a play at the plate. Terrible throw. He looked like he tried to hold on to it. We're tied, and heading into second is Cook. He delivers the game-tying RBI as Didowick looked like he either had the ball get stuck, thought about it, or just made a terrible throw. We are tied.
I'll tell you this, fellas. What a piece of hitting right here by Cook. Fastball up in the zone. That's how he got him out last time, chasing up. This time he lets that ball travel, and he's able to hit it to left, and I thought they were going to have a play. He looks up. He doesn't think so. It looks like it just slipped out of his hand. Cook takes advantage of it, goes to second with it.
Casey Cook has got 3 hits today, and some of that magic is moved from Chapel Hill to Omaha as he delivers a game-tying RBI. Call it a single and an error on Didowick.
What a beautiful piece of hitting after having pulled the previous 2 hits. Goes the other way, knows the situation, knows exactly how they pitched him the 3rd time up. And the 4th time for him is a charm, ties this one.
Ryan O'Connor takes the baseball from Blanco. He did all he could do. What a terrific effort from the starter for Virginia. But he will leave in a now tie game in the bottom of the 7th. Thanks to Casey Cook delivering. Back here in Omaha, game 1 of this 2024 College World Series, and it is a very good one between 2 rivals that have been playing since 1891. Blanco is now a spectator after 6 2/3. He's responsible for the runner at second. He allowed just 2 earned runs, Ben.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. I mean, he used his fastball occasionally to the inside part of the plate, but he changed eye levels with it, had a good changeup, a little bit of a backdoor breaking ball from time to time, and he just pitched. Outstanding effort. And there is Chase Hungate making his 30th appearance of the year. There's his numbers, 7-1 out of that bullpen, 51 innings of work, 37 strikeouts. So not a big strikeout guy, but does throw a lot of strikes. Three-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, slider. Holmes hitting 301 off the fastball, but only 196 on the changeup and 143 on his slider.
Yeah, and he's a ground ball guy, 72-37 ground ball fly out ratio, just 3 homers in 51 innings pitched. Understand the left on left, leaving Blanco in to face Cook, but you were looking for a ground ball. Feels like this would have been your guy. Blanco was terrific today.
I'll tell you what, I still liked the other matchup.
Yeah.
Just because the lefty with the righty sidearm, you could see him really well. Just wasn't able to execute that pitch.
So now Parks Harbor's got a chance to give him a lead.
Ball.
Well, Casey Cook has been terrific at the plate. He had the key to the car on Cook. I mean, in Blanco with the 3 hits, a single, a double, another single. We got some nail biting going on here in the bottom of the 7th of a tie game.
Ball. The approach here is just try to stay the middle the other way. If he throws anything soft, you can still keep it fair on the pull side. Throws anything hard, you have a chance hitting the ball in the air to right.
2-1, way outside. 3 balls and a strike. VCU transfer, he came in. This is year 2 at Virginia. Cade played at Florida State and Liberty. That's an older brother. 3-1. Williams, Fox, some Carolina royalty up there, and this one is beaten into the ground. And O'Farrell fires pretty play. Boy, he made that look easy. Hungate gets the ground ball he needs, but Carolina got the run they needed. End of 7, 2-2 in game 1 of the series. Welcome back, everyone. The 2024 NCAA Men's College World Series is presented by Capital One. The storylines, of course, coming in the 2 conferences. First trip ever for Kentucky, #1 seed Tennessee. Florida State a year after not making the ACC tournament back again. Florida squeaks in a non-national seed. Only 2 of these teams that are here have won national championships, and the Gators are one of them.
Wasn't too many years ago, Ole Miss snuck in, one of the last 4 in.
That's right. There is some similarities.
I wouldn't throw Godbout at all. Any pitch other than breaking pitches away. Ball. Anything in the zone.
He does struggle against lefties relative to righties.
Anything in the zone when it comes to a fastball, Godbout against lefties does not miss.
1 ball, no strikes.
Ball.
2 balls, no strikes. Pence ERA just a .99, and it's looking to give him a little length. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the 8th, 2-2. Center field, Honeycutt will track it down, and there's 1 down.
When you guys talk about Dalton Pence, I asked Brian Gaines about him, and I said, you know, what do you like about this guy? He said, well, listen, he's just a country boy from Cherryville, North Carolina, played Legion ball. And in the beginning of the season, I had to sit him down and I said, hey, listen, we're going to need you in the bullpen. We need you to be in the back end and do that for us. And without blinking, and Dalton Pence just said, yes, sir. And Brian Gaines said, that's the thing I respect about this kid the most, is that he didn't ask why, he didn't ask questions. Most kids would, but he's completely bought into what we've asked him to do. And that's a direct correlation as to why he's had so much success for us this season. He said he's got so much humility and just loved that part about his game, guys.
Good story, Danny. Thank you. Luke Hansen's going to pinch hit here for Becker.
Ball.
And he holds up. Hansen comes in at .294 on the season. 7 doubles, 7 homers. Williamsburg, Virginia at 6'2", 190.
Ball.
3 for 3 stolen bases. They got the book on him. Carolina shifts 3 on the left side of the infield on a 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Hansen and Becker have been kind of a platoon based on the righty-lefty. Three and one. Whalen, the 9-hitter, set to come up. He was late there, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pence battles back. Called strike 3 on the corner and down, and Pence picks up the punch out of Hansen.
Well, that's what you call coming back right there. 3-1 count and back-to-back fastballs. Swing and a miss on one. You talk about dotting the I right on the outside part of the plate. Look where Stevenson sets up. Outer third, ball delivered right there. And he might have stole that one. Stevenson might have stole that one. Quickly brings that ball back up.
And that's where Stevenson's really good. Bottom half of the zone, being able to steal pitches all season long.
Whalen swings at the first one, and that is where Honeycutt lives. Right into his glove. Pence has been nails. He gets the job done. Middle of the order. 4, 5, 6 coming up for Carolina. Hansen is at third base. Aiden Teal has gone into play left field for Virginia. He's checking the sun as he raised his glove. And Anthony D'Onofrio will lead things off. Swings at the first one. That is a foul ball. So Didowick out of the game in left field. Aiden Teal into the game.
One thing Teal will have to deal with is the sun. Any high fly ball to left, anything on a line, he'll be okay.
You're going to get one. You're going to get one down the line. D'Onofrio, high chopper, charged by the second baseman Godbout. He flips, and there is one down in the bottom of the 8th. Been equal opportunity. We focus a lot on Honeycutt, but they have had several heroic victories with different heroes. Now, Virginia has done this all postseason. They haven't allowed more than 4 runs in any regional game. They lead the College World Series participants with their batting average, but a tight game. If you can take some of the momentum from your super, Carolina would have a bit of an edge. That's a foul ball.
Yeah, we knew about Virginia's offense. Obviously, very, very good. One of the tops in the country. But where they elevated this postseason was their pitching staff. I mean, they got a 5.50 ERA as a team. But boy, you look what they did in the regionals and the super regionals. They only allowed about 3 runs per game in their 5 NCAA tournament games. So their pitching really grabbed a different gear when the tournament rolled around.
Sure did. Well, we mentioned the fact that they've had a bunch of walk-off wins, and they've had a bunch of different heroes. One of them was this one right here. Gavin Gallagher liftoff in the regional. And that was as good a moment as they had experienced, and then they had others. Gallagher, he pulled that one.
Yeah, we talked about it. North Carolina, 4 of their last 8 wins have come on the last at bat. It's been 4 different guys.
Yep, one hop. Farrell got rid of it, and he is just
nails.
A vacuum out there at shortstop. There's 2 down.
Well, he's put on an exhibition at short. It's all with the footwork. Really good read, first step, not only to his left, to his right, but also in. And then very accurate with the arm.
He makes it look easy out there.
Tell you what, the guy that's stepping up to the plate is going to be a star in the NCAA for the next couple years. Freshman Stevenson handles the bat, but handles the pitching staff, frames really well, and just has a really good idea of the plate.
2 singles today, 14 homers on the season, stays away and down. It's 1-0. shift him to pull the ball with O'Farrell still on the shortstop side, but way towards second, and off the line now is Hansen. He's going to have to go try and chase one, and this one is headed towards the seats, and will get about 6 rows deep. Chapel Hill Regional and Super, the Tar Heels won 5 games. 4 of those wins came down to the last inning, and 2 were decided with walk-off homers. The Gallagher one was against Long Island. And as we were told by Forbes, like most people figured Long Island shouldn't be that hard, and here we go with this cardiac Carolina thing. Good pitch on the corner. Hansen now moves to the second base side. The third baseman now on the second base side of second. You look ahead to the 9th inning, and Virginia will have the top of the order coming to the plate. 1, 2, and 3. That guy will lead things off.
Ball, it's out.
Talk about trying to frame it. Ferentz tried to buy his pitcher a strike right there. Teal out there and left also has got 6 saves this season. Of course, very familiar name to Virginia fans. The last name Teal, that Kyle was able to do. 2-2.
Tell you what, Whalen in center field is playing closer to the Ferris wheel out behind the stands than he is to home plate.
Once you move out of that circle out there, that means you're deep. He's moved out of the circle.
You've gotten a different area code once you get past the circle.
The circle of friendship out there. He's out of it.
Ball.
Again, the significance of trying to go 1-0 in the World Series. You get the day off. Both teams do tomorrow. You can get to 2-0. You get the extra day. You get your pitching lined up. Game 1 is so critical. 4 of the last 37. 0-1. Cannot come back. This one to left. And right towards the line. Now stays there. And it comes back and blows towards Teal into fair territory. He makes the play. Griff O'Farrell will come up looking for his first hit. He's got 200 his last 2 seasons. Fun game. Game 1 of this 2024 College World Series. 80-degree temperatures. Wind has made it a pitcher's park. And baseball fans from around the country, especially kids that age, in here for different tournaments. Get a chance to watch some of your idols. Maybe someday you'll be on that field, and maybe someday you'll have the success that Griff O'Farrell. Oh boy, stuck again in a bucket up top. If you're going to be up there, you may as well see something special happen on the field,
just
right?
Get all the way to the top.
Two-two, 9th inning. Here's O'Farrell. Swings at the first one, and this one is to center field, and there's just no chance today you're getting it over anybody's head in center.
Guys, just want to let you know, I asked Bryant Gaines how long they were going to leave Dalton Pence in this one, and he looked at me and he said, win or lose, we are riding with Dalton Pence on the mound.
Yeah, it's a good story.
I like it. That's why you're here, right? To win this whole thing. You need to be able to keep, and that game 1 is really important. That just shows you right there how important it is also for the head coaches.
Blue collar, hardworking kid. Before his first year at Carolina, Pence had pain in his elbow, and you know, pitcher's elbow pain, it's a bad deal, and it was his worst nightmare. He had to have Tommy John surgery. He was crying when he found out that he would have to have that surgery. And here's one that's smoked to center, but Honeycutt takes a few steps back, and that is a can of corn here.
That's what Whalen was playing right there. Right in that spot, straight away center, good luck.
And that's pretty good lumber on that one, or metal. 104 off the bat. Anything at the big league level considered hit 95 and harder is considered a hard hit ball. That one 104, and it went nowhere.
Well, he's gotten the first two. Here's Sauki.
Ball.
Right back at him up the middle, and boy, played beautifully, and a nice play by Alex Madera at second base. He was right up the middle, right where the ball went. We'll see Madera. His Chapel Thrill playing in Omaha. A 5-pitch inning brings us to the bottom of the ninth.
The last 2 weeks have taken 5 years off my life.
Definitely thrilling, for sure. I mean, feels like every game we play, we're winning in the 9th or 10th inning.
There is magic in Chapel Hill.
Nerve-wracking. Every game, we've just found a way to end up with the win.
We've made it very, very stressful and fun, for sure.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome though. Watching what we've been doing on the field and just being able to be a part of it has been unreal.
4 of the last 8 wins last at bat. 4 different players winning RBIs. Walk-off wins. Game 1 regional against Long Island. Game 1 super against West Virginia. Here we are, Game 1 of this 2024 College World Series.
And the more you do it, the more you think you can.
That's right. Osuna is going to be pinch hit for. And it's Jackson who steps in. You look at his numbers on the season. Vanderbrake 194.
Ball.
Ball 1 in. To Eduardo's point, last time Osuna was up and given his numbers, but that was against Polanco. He had struck out 3 times today.
100%. And Osuna is known for his power. Vanderbrake known for his speed. Ball. Look at lineup configuration. The big thing here is try to keep Honeycutt from hitting this inning. If you're Virginia.
Vanderbrake, Madera, Wilkerson, top of the order. Honeycutt 2-0, big pitch in there for a strike, 2-1.
Love to take. 2-0, your job is to get on base any which way you can.
Gets the call. Now we're 2 balls and 2 strikes. When Blanco started, he was outstanding. Caro did what he had to do. 2-2 pitch. Down the line. Fair ball! Bounces off the wall. Vanderbrake to second. And how about it? A pinch hit leadoff double for Jackson Vanderbrake. Wow.
Be ready. It's exactly what you have to be. On that bench, you've been sitting for a few hours. Be ready for your moment. 2 strikes. You work the count 2-2. Let it get deep. Don't try to chase against Huntgate, who makes you chase out of the zone at a higher rate. This pitch up in the zone, stays with it. Now runner in scoring position with a lot of speed.
Yeah, Scott Forbes pushing all the right buttons, goes to his bench and finds a double backside.
In only his 73rd at bat of the season, he picks up his 3rd double. It's the biggest of his career. And Carolina is set up with Madera, who has had a handful of sacrifice hits with a chance to move Vanderbrake to 3rd. He's got 7 sack bunts this year.
And it's coming. It's got to be coming in this situation. The question is, how is Virginia going to play it? Are they going to crash the corners and try to get that lead runner at second base, making his way to third?
Vanderbrink, terrific a couple of years ago. Struggled as a senior. One of the team co-captains, and man, what a spot for him. He's at second. Madera up.
Got to be careful with the backdoor pick on a missed bunt if you're Vanderbrink at second. If you're Madera, you want to get this bunt down. Don't try to come out of that box in a hurry. Just do your job. Get the bunt down. Let the defense play, because if you try to get out of that box and the ball hits you, then you're out and you don't get to do your job.
And it doesn't have to be a perfect bunt. Because Vanderbrink out at second base can run. Like, he can run.
0-1, the sidewinder gets set to deliver. And they will go back pick, and he's right back there. Good read, good call, Eddie.
Outfield now playing shallow. They know the speed that's at second.
0-1 gets it down. Out it's at first. There's one down, and the winning run is now at third base.
Well done there. Well done.
Tell you what, there's some decisions to be made right here by Ryan O'Connor. I actually, the way this is setting up right now, I'm going after Wilkerson right here. Honeycutt on deck, right against left. Infield, you bring in. Don't let Honeycutt beat you, and try to go after Wilkerson. You have to be careful with the squeeze play as well.
Now, Hungate's strength is ground balls, and that's what he's going to try to create right here, is a ground ball. Hopefully the one of his infielders is going to be pulled in.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of swing and miss. Not a lot of swing and miss from Huntgate.
Can't overstate how important it would be for a team, Carolina, that has struggled here in Omaha, riding the momentum of the postseason with the chance to do what they've done a handful of times and win a close one on a walk-off in the 9th inning. And to your point, Ben, once you've done it, you start to believe. You've done it a few times. Now you know you can do it.
Tell you what, they all got rubbed Dustin Ackley a little bit for base hits. How big would it be right now for their senior at the plate?
This one's different, though, right? You don't need a base hit here to win the ball game. You just shove a ball deep enough to the outfield for a sacrifice fly.
The infield is obviously in. Winning run is at third. Colby Wilkerson steps in. Outfield very shallow. Wilkerson's put some muscle on. He can hit it way outside. Can hit it deep enough for sure. Jackson Vanderbrink, a pinch hitter, double to lead off the inning. Carolina has played 16 one-run games. They're 9-7. Ball. 2 balls, no strikes, with Vance Honeycutt, the leadoff hitter and the best hitter, on deck. Swinging 2-0, it's 2-1.
A little bit too aggressive there. Hunting a fastball. Said he got a slider kind of down and in.
Look, he's looking for that number 1, right? 2-0, you know you have Honeycutt on deck, but you don't have to give in to him. You still have 2 bases open. You walk him, so what?
2-1. Ball.
Whatever he threw 2-0, and that was a slider, throw it again here.
Throw it again.
3-1 popped up right behind home plate. Wilkerson is out. That's out number 2, and the script is ready for its last few words. Vance Honeycutt, the postseason hero and Carolina superstar, has a chance to do it again.
0 for 4 in a day, but he can make everybody forget about that 0 for 4 in this at bat right here.
Guys, there are circle guys in lineups. This right here is a circle guy. Circle guys are guys that can't beat you. I just do not throw this guy a strike. Make him chase out of the zone.
Hungate to Honeycutt. Ball just missed.
Again, Hungate this year induces a lot of chases, 27%. Division I average is 20%.
The 1-0. Ball. 2 balls, no strikes.
And behind Honeycutt is Casey Cook, who's just 3 for 4 today.
2-0. Winning run at third. Got a pitch to swing at. Another slider at 2-0. It's 2-1. He missed it.
He flinched. And then with losing his legs, still swung at it.
His dad played on the 1989 College World Series team. His mom ran track at Carolina. And that one is ripped. That's the game. Honeycutt does it again. And they turn Chapel Thrill into Charles Schwakoff Stadium.
Talk about circle guys and don't let them beat you. You're going to do not in the zone. And Vance Honeycutt, you said it, 0 for 4 coming into this at bat.
Nobody's going to remember that, are they?
Nope, not at all.
How about North Carolina, huh? 5 wins in their last 9 at bats, and the last at bat, and they do it yet again. And I tell you what, give Scott Forbes a lot of credit. He went to his bench, pulled out a guy with not many at bats at all.
100%.
Stepped up to the plate. Lead-off double. You do a good job. You get him over and you get him in.
The legend of Vance Honeycutt has become epic.
It's a well-executed, well-defended game.
The last guy that any opponent would like to see come up has delivered here in the College World Series.
I believe it was another slider, Eddie, is what it looked like. It looked like to me Honeycutt just went up there and circled this ball.
Well, what do good hitters do? They see one pitch, you fool me once, don't fool me twice on the same pitch. Stayed with it, exit velocity over 100, and he knew it as soon as he made contact.
Just sits back, yeah, a little spinner right here, and trying to get it well off the outside part of the plate. It never really got there. And I tell you what, to win at the College World Series, you need your stars to show up. And Vance Honeycutt showed up in the biggest moment of the game.
Again, he got a couple of small in-state offers, and then Carolina came calling. And as soon as that happened, man, he hung the phone up and said, I am in. And he has been in a huge way. Stock rising on Vance Honeycutt and the clutch gene that he has shown here the last couple of weeks. A walk-off win for Carolina in Game 1 here in the bottom of the 9th as they beat Virginia by a score of 3-2. He only had 1 hit today and 5 at-bats, and he only needed 1.
I tell you what, and let's not forget the job that Dalton Pence did, right, for North Carolina. He comes in out of that bullpen, goes 3 1/3, perfect innings with 2 strikeouts. And he gave this UNC offense a chance for some late magic, and they do it yet again.
Now, I'm not sure if that bat's got a rattle in it, but that bat's just as good as the bat that broke. Danny?
Yeah, Carl, thanks. Vance just told me it's hot. I think your bat might be hotter. Where's your jersey?
No idea. Oh, there it is. Paz got it.
How do you begin to? You got a bath, guys. Wow.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
How does that feel?
Cold, but better, refreshing.
Wow, 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 wow. The magic, you guys, your fans are here. We've talked about the magic. You brought it here. How do you explain it?
You know, just a big credit to our pitchers. I mean, keeping us in the game. You know, our at-bats, they weren't like
really great, but we were also just trying to continue to put good swings on balls, and just credit to our pitchers, honestly, because it was what 2-2 the whole time, so that's just a big shout out to them.
How about DeCaro after the first inning? What was the difference you saw in him?
Yeah, just the confidence. That dude, I was telling you the other day, he's young off the field, but man, whenever he's on the mound, he's old. He's very mature, and he's a stud.
Jackson Vanderbrake, patient coming off the bench. How crucial is that?
That's huge. Credit to Vandy, he's one of our captains. He's kept a level head all year. Can't be easy. But he's pulling for every one of us. And whenever he gets his moment, you see what he did.
How big is a Game 1 win?
It's huge. Brings us more confidence, and we get to stay around for a couple more days.
Congratulations, Vance.
Thank you.
Carl?
Yeah, you can't say enough about Vance Honeycutt. As we now take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance.
And rightfully so, it's this guy right here, Vance Honeycutt. You want everybody to react from the bench? Stay back on that slider right there. And they gave him an opportunity to win the game, and the circle guy, the guy in the lineup, taking advantage of this win.
Sometimes coaches will tell you the reason we won is because we have that person and they don't. And right now, the way it's going for Carolina, that guy is the difference maker. Vance Honeycutt. Used to get DH for when he was a freshman at Carolina. They are not putting anybody up for number 7 anymore. Take that shirt off, get an ice bath, and celebrate. Carolina is 1-0. Virginia got an outstanding effort from Evan Blanco. But Forbes pressed the right button. He brought in Jackson Vanderbrake, who led off the bottom of the 9th with a double and eventually scored the game-winning run. 3-2 is the final score, Carolina over Virginia. We've talked ad nauseum about Honeycutt. We've talked about the significance of winning Game 1. But that momentum, Ben, it's a real thing. And sometimes you lose it on a plane ride. Well, this shows that, you know what, it's still in our back pocket.
You start to win, you start to believe you can late, and all of a sudden you get that momentum going. And I tell you what, North Carolina is going to be a hard team to beat, no doubt about it.
They played the win tonight. They came in, the bullpen pitched excellent for North Carolina. Defense played up as well. And the most important thing, they ended up doing the little things right to be able to get that big W.
It's a team that's got a whole bunch of personality. They are incredibly loose thanks to the vibes that are given off by Coach Forbes. You think about Honeycutt and all his offensive accolades and what he's done. He was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. His defensive runs saved are off the charts, but he is building a resume of highlight reel moments to end games. The career home run leader at Carolina with 63. All he needed was a single, and that's how Game 1 ends. Don't forget Game 2 coming up, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We'll see Tennessee, the overall #1 seed, against the Florida State Seminoles. You ready for that one?
I'm buckling up for that one, Carl.
Looking forward to that one, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Check it out. The Berkeys against the Perez's.
Vance Honeycutt, outside pitch, Hook City, single. Around the Horn is coming up next. If this is how every game is going to play out, we are in for an unbelievable College World Series. For Ben McDonald, Eduardo Perez, Danny Wexelman, and our entire crew, Bill Palladino, our producer, Jeff Evers, our director. Thanks, everyone, for checking this one out. Carolina a winner on a walk-off. 3-2 next game in a couple of hours.